Yeah, indeed, Gary. Let's see if these folks can figure out how to get over here or not. Man, once they start going, it's just off to the fucking races, huh? Hilarious. But yeah, when I stream with OBS, it uses so much more data, and we were live for like 4 hours, so I got to make it 29 more days of the month, on my data plan. So I guess O'Shea's still live. Maybe I should have popped in over there. And surprise, surprise, Paul is the first one to figure out how to join the new broadcast. Well done, sir.
So these retards are still over here. And
Yeah,
on another
they don't.
area.
Yeah, they don't. They don't.
Tommy's just back here rambling. Right?
Yeah. Oh man, Cage is the. So Paul's the smartest.
Here, Tom, just stay here. We're gonna go.
Yeah, Cage is the second smartest. Let's see. This is like in order of.
Well, I mean, Benton, we knew that I was clearly the most intelligent.
I already had
in that group. That wasn't difficult to achieve that status.
I had to pull up. Oh, enough of your nonsense. May I share a video I created? It's like 5 minutes long. May I share with you guys quick before we get going here? I would love to hear Paul's reaction on it. It's all AI.
What do you want me to react on?
He wants to show us a deepfake video of Talcott, I believe.
No, it's not
do this all day, every day.
No, we have Andrew Taint in it, and it's about Israel, and the elite.
Yeah, you're pushing this deepfake shit a little bit too hard lately.
No, but this is actually educational content instead of just some fucking comedy nonsense.
Too hard lately.
It's all.
Hey, bro, it's another day we woke up and everybody's a fucking
Welcome
slave.
to Cage
So
Reality,
you go ahead and play
the
whatever
YouTube
you want.
channel, where we delve deep into the hidden layers of existence, exploring the realms of mysticism, ancient civilizations, and esoteric knowledge. In today's episode, we present a tale that intertwines the mysteries of Egypt and Israel, weaving together cosmic forces and secret symbolism. Join us as we embark on a journey through time and consciousness, unlocking the esoteric meanings buried within the story of Isis, Ra, El, and the enigmatic elites. Together, we'll explore the veiled connections between divinity and humanity, the convergence of celestial energies, and the transformative power of hidden wisdom. In the sacred annals of Egypt, the goddess Isis reigned supreme, embodying beauty, magic, and wisdom. Her name held ancient secrets, whispered through the corridors.
Bro, you're like constantly giving us shit that we already fucking know. Like, this is old truther, back of the cereal box facts.
But our story doesn't end.
Really old.
As we journey through the sacred.
And then Cage always acts like it's so mystical and mysterious.
Israel and its hidden connection
Oh,
to the
man.
divine entity known as El.
This is what he's going to tell me before. I'm making a new video to tell everyone where the word elites came from. Yeah, Jordan Maxwell did that 35 fucking years ago.
Unfolds, we'll witness the convergence of Isis, Ra, and El, unearthing the cosmic harmony.
This is what he wanted to show us.
Through the eyes of the chosen ones, the elites, will explore the transformative power of divine guidance.
He just wants to be one. That's what Cage is. He wants to be Illuminati so bad, but they won't let him in. So now he's got to do videos talking about him all.
Dude, that's exactly it for the whole truther community, man.
I know.
They jump from like explaining this stuff to saying that it is the Luciferian agenda, but that's largely what they believe, though. Like I'm trying to figure that out.
I'm trying to figure out why everybody gets off on saying what other people believe in things and what their intentions are.
Join us on this captivating.
Isn't that what we're all here to be as individuals?
I'm asking. I'm not saying what it is. I'm saying what about this contradiction?
Okay, so
Tom,
all
what
the
makes
shit.
you think that folks can't read people and know their psychology by knowing themselves? What is it?
You're proof of that. You're proof of that by like I can sit here and watch how wrong you are.
Never have a conversation about anything general and objective without you having
the divine favor of celestial deities, basked in the
No, you just you're so lacking in awareness of how you're wrong. You've done it for so long.
Yeah, but people can have a sense of where people are.
And people can be right, Paul. You're just not that. Like you think you're the only one on the internet having a girl shake her ass on camera. That's everywhere. That's the hope.
Isis embodied the divine feminine, the embodiment of primordial magic.
So Yurt, I just stopped in to say any of this shit you want to talk about me from here to London.
Can you just leave? You're horrible.
I am. Hey, you didn't. Hey,
Everyone
Paul.
hates you. You're horrible on air.
Are you
What don't
still
you
on
get?
this, man?
Well,
You're
Paul,
kryptonite.
Hey, Paul.
You're
Hey,
on
Paul.
kryptonite. You're the worst
You just
thing
gonna
ever.
shout? What a fucking
Hold
faggot.
on, let me say
You're
something.
any of this
Paul was
shit you
talking
want to
mad-
talk, have me on your channel to do it, and let's
Once you
see
listen
what a
to
big
the
yurt
No
you
one
material
are.
and then
cares
judge
about you and your horrible life.
Once you listen to the material and then judge it, Paul, because you're talking like, oh, of course, it's like you said something.
Paige, I want to know what you and everyone else are going to do today that you didn't do the last 8 fucking months to not be a goddamn slave. That's what I want to know.
I'm the opposite of that.
Instead of make fucking videos about what El and Saturn and ISIS are doing. What the fuck are you doing? How about that? Make that video.
What are you doing exactly?
Oh, we're going to do this. I'll see you later, all right? You guys sit and cycle in nonsense and play footsie and jerk each other off and play games, right? This is laughable.
You're a fucking customer. Let's continue.
Amidst the whispers of celestial prophecy,
We're all
the land
customers,
of Israel
Cage. Come
resonated
on.
with a mystic symphony. Through the veils of ancient lore, the name Israel revealed its esoteric roots, rooted in the divine essence known as El. El, a celestial force woven into the very fabric of creation, whispered secrets of universal authority and transcendence. In the sacred interplay of destiny, a prophetic vision unveiled itself, unveiling the tapestry of cosmic convergence. The celestial energy of the Israelites danced in harmony with the divine essence of Isis, promising a profound awakening of collective consciousness and the transcendence of mortal limitations. Drawn by the cosmic currents, an elite cadre of initiates embarked on a sacred odyssey, guided by the stars and the whispers of the divine. These chosen few, bearers of the sacred flame, held within them the dormant seeds of spiritual alchemy, ready to be ignited and transmuted into divine wisdom. Hence we have EL, the elites. As the initiates traversed the labyrinthine pathways of initiation, they gazed upon the sacred sigils and ancient glyphs, decoding the hidden mysteries of esoteric symbolism. Through the sacred names, the mystical vibrations of Isis, Ra, and El entwined, revealing the celestial harmonies that echoed through the cosmos. The initiates, guided by the visions gifted by Isis herself, unraveled the enigma of this cosmic convergence. They witnessed the threads that wove the tapestry of existence, the interconnectedness of celestial forces with the realms of mortals. Through their awakening, they became the living vessels, conduits of divine wisdom, and catalysts for the harmonization of the seen and unseen worlds. Returning to the hallowed lands of Egypt, the initiates emanated the divine essence within. They kindled the embers of enlightenment, birthing a new era of spiritual renaissance that echoed across the sacred lands. The sacred essence of El flowed through their veins, infusing society with compassion, justice, and unity in the pursuit of cosmic truths. In the luminous embrace of this cosmic dance, Egypt and Israel melded their collective destinies. Boundaries dissolved as the ancient wisdom intermingled, unveiling a golden age of transcendence and shared spiritual growth. The veils between realms thinned, enabling the seekers to navigate the liminal spaces and embrace the interplay of celestial energies and earthly.
Is this, hey, can you pause real quick, Joe?
Ra,
Is this from a
and the initiates
specific?
echoes as a profound esoteric testament.
Sorry. Never mind. Just finish it. I apologize. Never
Yeah, I
mind.
think it's almost done.
No, please, your fellow, please.
I was just going to say,
Beckoning
is this from something specific? And when was this golden flourishing of humanity, this transcendental moment of Renaissance that he's talking about?
It was last week.
Yeah, right now.
This is why this is so ridiculous. We're watching a deep fake AI reproduction describing a story we're all fucking living right now. Or some of us are living right now. The rest are not aware, I guess.
That's the point. That's the
point. Okay, so great job. You copy and pasted
to embark
Wikipedia.
upon the journey of self-discovery and mystical union. It whispers to the awakened souls, reminding them of their divine heritage and the transformative power within. In the grand symphony of the
Well, no, I'm glad you said you think of it like that, Cage. But
Oh, wait a minute. Sorry. It wasn't over.
oh, shit.
I misclicked. Yeah. Go ahead.
It whispers to the awakened souls,
I was just
reminding
gonna.
them of their divine
Sorry.
heritage
That was
and
a
the
premature
transformative power
clickation.
within.
Yeah,
In the grand
exactly.
profound
Precisely.
I'm losing
esoteric
it.
testament, beckoning seekers to embark upon the journey of self-discovery and mystical union. It whispers to the awakened souls, reminding them of their divine heritage and the transformative power within. In the grand symphony of the cosmos, the tale
Blah,
continues to
blah,
reverberate,
blah.
inviting
You're
souls
still
to
a
unlock
punk-ass
the ancient
bitch.
gnosis, to merge with the celestial forces.
Well, if you could
and to
cram
walk
all
the
this into
path
a
of
TikTok
illuminated
video,
consciousness.
there might be a
Within
chance
the
of
realms of myth and
spreading
esoteric
awareness.
wisdom, the seeker shall find the keys to
I love
unlock
all
their
this
true
fucking,
selves
you know,
and
flowery
unravel the
language that
mysteries of the
adds up to
universe.
nothing on
As
the
we
ground.
part
with
ways,
people
remember that the
talking
story we
about
have
this and
explored
making it.
is just a glimpse
Well,
into
and
the
another
infinite
way to
depths of the
frame that in
unknown.
a way that
It serves
maybe
as a
pushes the
reminder that beyond the
conversation
veil of everyday
for
reality,
Cage or anyone.
profound truths and ancient
And I would
wisdom
challenge
await
you,
those who
Paul, a
dare
little
to see.
bit, because a little bit. So Cage is saying he's essentially doing like a magic trick here, that he's using the tools of the enemy to get us to think, and then you know, to realize a different level of truth. That's what he's saying. And so my question to Cage would be, how do we know when we pull up out of this tailspin, right? How do we know when to pull up? How are you going to trigger that? Which is essentially what Paul's saying. But then, Paul, I would also say to you, to challenge it back on you, isn't some of the games and the antics that occur day to day on this the same sort of shit? You're obscuring the truth, so disingenuous, it's genuine. That game, do we have to play this part a little bit to stimulate the conversation? And, you know, does that have value or not?
I mean, yeah, whatever's authentic. I can't choose what comes before and after me when I speak. But, you know, I can remind us all of that we're here again today, and that Cage has another presentation for the class, another AI deepfake of copied material from Wikipedia. It doesn't apply.
It's not Wikipedia, Paul.
I'm just saying, you folks have a community of decades of just sitting in a hole, spiraling and representing the same info over and over again.
I tend to agree.
You're not copying.
Where does it go?
Or anything online,
Where does it go?
Yeah,
I'm 3 to 5 years into on the ground applying this shit on all levels and alchemizing and transmuting and transcending. And you motherfuckers want to keep doing more presentations about it. I want to see you live it.
How do you know?
I don't get it.
I do live it. I'm doing it.
What's the fear? What's the fear, Cage? What's the fear? What's this going to do? This AI. What's the end conclusion? The fear of this. What do you think's going to happen because of these fake things?
Nothing. It's like this. Like what do you think happened when people invented a gun? You know, everyone's freaking out about guns. And guess what? People invented bulletproof vests.
Yeah, but aren't you?
They invented armored cars. They invented things that could, you know, counter-react.
Freaking out about this in the same way.
Right. So, and another way to look at it. So after a history of doing that, can we never pause, Cage, and say, instead of just rushing forward into the new technology, can we actually address the messes the previous technology
have been being
created?
deceived by this shit for probably over a decade minimum. You know?
Usually it would seem to me that a lot of these like groundbreaking technologies seem to come about whenever there's
exactly
right.
They've been there for a long time. Exactly. I know what you're gonna say, Paul.
What was I gonna say?
You're gonna say they seem like they're groundbreaking and new to us because they're being put to us.
That's not what I was gonna say.
Well, you should have.
Why don't you just let him say what he's gonna say?
You should stop being a punk ass slave with no face on here making videos and not having a free life.
You've seen what I look like, man. Come on.
You're a slave, I guarantee it. Top to bottom.
Okay.
Well, and I want to, yeah. Well, and you know, nobody has to do anything, as I pointed out, and you certainly don't have to do what Paul is suggesting. But I would say that the fact that it's 2023 and this is the level you're at, this is pretty fucking sad.
Yeah, you actually do have to, right? Like Cage likes to make absolutes, like, and not know what he's talking about, and then I'm going to do it for truth. You absolutely have to do what the fuck I and Wizard and others have done and are doing, or else you're going to be even more of a slave. So there's your condition. If you don't mind being even more of a fucking slave who's disempowered, then don't do it, right? Because like my father said, it's not his cup of tea, you know?
Well, Paul, you don't know me, first of all. Second of all, you're making
this. Right, we don't know me. We got that one. It's not like we've never heard that one when someone's full of shit. You don't know me. Right. I know me, so I know you.
If you did know
Grand Wizard of the esoteric knowledge, that's how that works. Because I know me, I know you. I don't need to live with you.
You're on a very low degree. You're a bit beyond the path, but I'm here to help you go forward. Yeah.
Thank you, Cage. I appreciate your facilitation of my growth.
Well,
can you answer what
the fear is? It's all up to you at the end of the day, but I'm not going to be
right. But you're not in a position to tell me how I can grow and level up when you've not even achieved what I've done years ago.
You don't even know about me. What are you talking about? I'm
pretty damn sure you haven't corrected the record yet. So I'm going to go with that narrative.
In your repertoire.
I'm going to go with that narrative because we're like 6 to 8 months into this, and you've never shown anything, never told anything, and you've got the same rap. How I don't know you. I've heard that all before. You're not special.
Well, the stuff you puff on.
If you weren't a slave, you'd come at it just how I'm coming at it, and you don't. So I know you are energetically a slave. I know you are energetically.
So I'm a
because
producer,
you only buck up to call names and talk shit, but never talk about passion for truth and how it works on the ground. Never happens. Never seen it once. With the majority of folks here, never seen it once. Never seen them get uppity and passionate about what the fuck they're doing and living through and helping inspire and co-create. Never seen it. So you're already deep fake AI'd out because you're the walking, living dead. How about that?
Not really, my friend. It's actually the exact opposite. The only thing is, I understand a lot of people are going through the same things, and I'm just whining and bitching and tell people about what I'm going through because I deal with it like a man. It's already taken care of regardless.
You have a license to grow that weed you sell, Cage?
Yes, I have a federal license.
Ah, well, there you go.
Yeah, he's got a license for every piece of his property. He's got a license for every movement he makes. He's got a registration. He's got contracts with the state of Shaitan. All the rest of it, right? Then they want to get on here and tell me about the powers that be, the masters and the deep
If
state.
it was up to me, it would still be illegal.
You don't need a deep state. The front state's got everybody. What do you need deep state for? The state of has everyone in contract.
If it was up to me, it would still be illegal. I wouldn't need a license.
Fucking laughable.
Do you see how
every single person I see moving up and down this road is a fucking slave? Just imagine what it looks like from my point of view, right? Taxed, coded, policy. Every single one of them. I can't look to my left or right on the road and find a real honorable man or woman who understands truth from the bullshit they've had overlaid. Okay?
All right. Well, I know this
time you're on the road, just zoom out and imagine every single slave has taken their property away from themselves and given it away to the state of corporation.
We do need some sort of
care and thinks I'm an asshole for getting loud about it. You don't even have a freedom to move anymore.
No, but we do need some sort of structures. So obviously, what's going on?
Right. Tell us all about it. Tell us all about it. We need some form of forced contracting to keep the slaves or the free men and women in line.
Who's clearing the roads for you? Who's making you enjoy all
there you go. Government did it. Government did it, of course. Government owns it all. Government did it all. The men and women are just trash.
The people are doing it. The people own it all.
Yeah, no shit.
You know?
And the people aren't people, they're persons now. So they don't have their own mind and heart, and they've gave all their power away. So now people, men of the people like me, we have to have contracts forced on us constantly and be looked at like criminals because the average slave.
A lot of people would say, like you said earlier, like, what are you doing to, to get out of this slavery and that, So what are you doing, Paul? What you're doing is this, right? All it takes is one person. So it's like an antivirus, an anti-cancer, right? These ideas, it's like germinating or planting seeds. Eventually, these ideas will germinate into other people's mind and they'll spread. Either way, it's
that's
like injecting
your hope. Code. That's your hope.
So it's injecting code. No, that's how it works.
Cage, that's what's so interesting. Isn't that what you accuse the bad guys of doing? To keep it simple for Lubas,
it is. That's why. Like we're playing a game of chess.
Isn't that what the bad guys are doing? So you're saying you're doing what the bad guys are doing because they're doing it to show that they're doing it?
You have to use their tactics against them,
Like false flag?
But how are you doing that? Cage, you just said that you're selfish and self-centered. You said that you wish the weed was still illegal. Why did you say that? You said that because when it was illegal, it was worth more money. So you could get more out of it, right? And as soon as it became legal, you jumped to go get a license.
Well, no, it's not just that.
Right?
When it became illegal, it became monopolized. And there's a bunch of these corporations taking advantage of the shit and making a lesser product that's being radiated.
For selfish reasons.
Irradiated.
Not because it should be illegal. Not because
it doesn't matter. I don't care. You think I give a fuck about laws? I don't care.
Not because it's a gift from God that you don't have the sense in you to say, wait a minute, a gift from God that grows on the land naturally. The government has to control whether I use it or don't use it. You don't have that in your mind.
No. That's not.
That's why I respect Talcott, because at least he's insane or real enough to come out and say the part no one wants to say. The
Right.
Christed being did the hard part. Paulie, you did the hard part. Now we're going to sit back and have fun and wait for it all to change. That's what he told me last night. I said, oh, you think that's how it works? You're all going to sit around and yap and it's going to change? No, you're a bunch of cowards. The reason you're not doing it's the same reason I wasn't doing it. It's the same reason I got to fucking remind myself like this and get fired up because there's a punk-ass coward in me too that'll go along to get along and take this whole place with it. Okay, so don't bullshit me and everyone else. If you weren't a slave, you'd fucking stand into power and say, fuck the consequences. You don't do it because you're scared. It's that simple.
And we're all there. We've all been there. We've all been there, Cage. And we all get there at some points, but it's a fight that needs to be fought.
But you guys don't understand. Like I'm you know what? For regular people on here, I could see how you're gonna.
Well, man, if you can't make us understand, how are you going to make the masses understand?
You have to be very careful of what I say. I can't say certain things. Right?
The masses have been enslaved since the beginning of time. They'll be enslaved since the end of time. It is the few, the proud.
I can't say certain things, but this shit's all laughable to me. You know.
Right. It is the few and the proud who be all they can be. Remember that lingo, Cage? You know who uses that lingo, right? Yeah. So the majority are not going to get woken up by Cage and his deep state AI fakes because they're cowards. They already know the dynamic. They're thrown in with it, and it's not going to change till it gets really, really bad.
Exactly. Most people will not change until they're forced to change. It's like a survival mechanism.
I agree with that. So
what
each person's going to put themselves on record for Judgment Day. Are you a slave or not? Did you follow and serve God, or did you serve two masters? In which case, then you'll have to answer for that. So that's why we do what we do, because we know the time is nigh, right? In this life or the after, we see it all coming down, and I'm not going to sit there around a bunch of slaves in the street and whine about what I did and didn't do. I'm going to be the one saying, well, you know what I did and what I was doing when you all were doing nothing. Call it ego, call it whatever you want. It's not easy for me, but I still do it because it's true and it's right. Everywhere that I can. When everyone else starts living like that, we're out. The game's over.
Well, yeah, Paul. This is why I do. Like, I could tell. You know, you've lived a certain lifestyle where you're able to learn these things easily, right? Most people, you know, like you said before, they won't learn until they're forced into the shit.
Cage, let me ask you a question.
That's like a survival mechanism.
Let me ask you just a quick question. Maybe it means nothing, but what do you think would have happened when Trudeau legalized marijuana, right? And he brought on all this licensing shit and permits and this and that. Hold on. Let me finish the question. Let me finish the question, and then you can go on. I'll shut up. What do you think would have happened if all the illegal growers, because everybody's been, we were all there, instead of going to get these licenses, they just carried on business as usual, fuck the licenses, and they just did it more openly? What do you think would have happened?
What do you think's happening? That's what they've done.
Who?
Everybody in the industry. You have to play their game. You get their fucking license. It's like a form of compliance. It's like feigning resistance.
But this is what I'm saying.
Get that, so if they want to bring it to court or something happens, they try enacting this slavery fucking agenda. You can use it against them and use loopholes against them and use their own law against them.
But who made the choice to go get the license? You or the state?
Well,
who made that choice?
The individual did.
You did.
Bro, you guys always talk about how this whole creation is connected and energetic and all the rest of it and based in words and terms. Then you don't see how this whole thing is about a soul trap with the Akashic Record. If you take the contract, if you stand and say you understand, if you speak those words and it's on paper, they got you. Whatever you think that this karmic loop, this cycle, this dream-catching soul trap is, that's it. As far as I'm concerned, right?
Well, that's how you end the sentence. You begin and end the sentence with your signature, right? In a way. So that's like kind of sealing your name to something,
That's the bondage. It's intergenerational, interlife, I believe. I can't prove it. Bondage and slavery. Where you don't get out unless you transcend and transmute the dynamic since the beginning of time. We're going to put forth a mandate and a code. You're going to be feared into doing it. There's another side of you of faith. It knows the truth. If you ride with that, you're out. If you don't, you're coming back over and over again, and you're getting slaved.
Exactly. So it's all about accountability, right?
But
we
you
can't really
didn't do
blame.
that.
We
You
can't
didn't do
blame.
that when
Hold
you
on.
went
We
to get
can't.
the license.
Yeah,
You
but hold
didn't
up,
do
hold up,
that.
hold up.
Blame all
Nuback,
these
Nuback,
people.
quit just
We
like
can't blame
piling
these
on these
outside
to make
forces.
the point is being made,
Need
but
some accountability.
what is in question, Paul, and the pushback comes, and I'm interested to hear your response to this, is the idea that you're not doing anything if you're not doing a few particular things. Are you following what I'm saying? That's where the discussion is at. How exactly do we transcend those fraudulent contracts, essentially, right? Because isn't there something to it? If it's a fraudulent contract, it can't be in effect in any case.
I'm not even saying, listen, you know how I sit with this. This is a principle.
I do.
This is not about getting it done necessarily the right way. This is about you. In the beginning is the word is made real. You have to use your voice and the word, however that appears to you, to say, I'm out of this. No, don't understand. Whatever comes of that. Now you could get real good at pimping and macking, which you can.
Exactly, Paul. So it's like thought, emotion, and action, right?
Since the beginning of time, we're going to put forth a mandate in the code. You're going to be feared into doing it. There's another side of you with faith. You know the truth. If you ride with that, you're out.
It's like
thought, emotion, and action.
Watching me. So you have to think.
Yeah, what do we? This is Infinity League
Hold
right
on.
here.
You have to think what you speak and speak what you do. Some accountability, and then you have accountability. Then you're actually doing something, as Paul was saying, right? It's like the tree of Prima and alchemy.
Right. Their whole game is to keep us inactive, looking, watching, observing, thinking, feeling, generating energies.
Think what you speak and speak what you do.
Never changing it and transmuting it.
Exactly. So then you have the action, the tree of Prima, they call it, or the quintessence, the 3 and the 5. But that's what it is. It's all distractions and shit to keep you away from how strong your mind really is.
Bro, all that is like, this is, again, flowery language, Kabbalistic language to describe common sense. 1 gives birth to 2, 2 gives birth to action, right?
It's fucking common sense, exactly. It's
gives birth to all things.
Look at O'Shea. He's fucking mesmerized.
But the sick fucking thing is, Paul, common sense is not very common anymore. And it's the action, there's a whole agenda to actually socially engineer that out of people. Holistic intelligence and common sense.
It has to be engineered out. I think that the society and the culture has already been embedded for so long that it's more important to be polite and kind and go along to get along than it is to be truthful. So cowardice is already written in.
You're not going to have many friends. You're not going to be maybe online.
I don't give a fuck. Have you not noticed?
That's the point. But I'm saying, of course, it's the same way because people they do not want to hear things.
Right, and ironically, this is the joke, is I went to the point where I gave everything up, had no friends, nobody understood what I was doing, everybody was put off by my countenance, and we've come back around completely. I don't know.
And now they're probably coming. They're probably coming back to you.
Some of them trust me and respect me, and might fucking actually stand next to me if something was actually to go down.
I have a question. Those friends and close family members that seem to think that you're going. I guarantee nowadays they're probably, some of them are coming back to you and realizing that you were right all along in a way.
Nah, the most of them have gone their own way and stayed silent. My father won't really. You've seen my father. He'll tap dance, But I don't really have big family. I got 2 uncles on one side, another uncle on the other side, my father's brother, and that's pretty much it. The cousins are in Florida with the aunts, whatever. I haven't talked to them all my life. So
you have a small family too, like myself. So yeah, I know what you're saying, but I'm sure even maybe a couple of them, some people, they turn around eventually and they're like, oh wait,
They always say I was an only child, right? A lonely child. So I learned how to be with the fuck myself, with no dinner, with no toys, with no nothing in my fucking room because I wouldn't comply. So I learned how to be with myself and my thoughts, emotions, and actions. And I learned how when you crack that door again, I'm coming with it the same way I did last time.
Well, Paul, I grew up the same way. Like in the winters and shit, I'd have to walk to school and I had no shoes with holes in them and shit, walking in the, your feet are cold. You have to learn pretty quickly how to get shit done. You know.
Yeah, there was bears, and I had to slaughter 3 bears before I got to school. And then when I got there was a lion on the top of the fucking school, and he would jump down on me. And
I don't know nothing about lions, tigers, and bears, and I don't know nothing
No,
about
that I know about not having bus fare as a little kid and not having.
Well, yeah, that's fucked up, man. I was never neglected as far as things. Again, this is just a concept of authority to me. Motherfuckers have been telling me since day one that they're my authority, or some word is my authority, and I'd have never accepted it. I never will. I will think for myself and do what the fuck I want. If you want to punish me, do it, and I'm going to crack the door and come right out the same way I did last time. It's never failed. And they say, Paulie can't be trained. Yeah, because I'm not an animal.
Yeah, exactly. Same way fucking Paulie put, what are you, like a little monkey going around collecting quarters from people? Enough. Throw that in the fucking jukebox and make a dance. Enough of that. So I'm saying,
he's not a monkey. He's a white gorilla. People like that sort of thing.
I don't know, Paul. I don't know. You know what? I could see you've been through some real type of shit. And for me personally, it's like, I know what type of experiences. Most people would not. They'd break mentally within like a second. They'd be folding. It'd be hilarious, And then I hear other people trying to talk about reality. It's like, get the fuck.
Why don't you bring this dumbass Mr. Miyagi up here, since he's always got something to say? Disenfranchised only child. Maybe he was hoping he would be spoiled. Maybe I was spoiled with things on some level. Maybe that was the best thing for me, because now things don't fucking matter to me.
Well, yeah, everyone learns it a different way, right, Paul? Everyone has to learn a different way. Just because you have things doesn't mean everything, right? Like,
there was no truth and no love, and that's what mattered. It wasn't the things.
Yeah, those are just material things. It has nothing to do with anything.
There was no loyalty.
But let me tell you this though, Paul. If you don't have things like basic food or basic clothing then you're left with a whole other thing. Like, you can't be a slave. You have to learn the slave script and then become like the fucking master, run the entire hood like me. That's how it's done. And you talk about all that, yeah. Talk about all these individuals, yeah. You can rub shoulders and with some of the people that run this fucking game, but they're also slaves too. They're just treated better, in a way. This whole game you're set up to be quote unquote.
The real issue becomes, just real quick, is you're trying to build a bridge from the mind control and the passivity which exists currently to a state of change. And so there has to be some real action, but all those real actions have been co-opted by the mind control programs, COINTELPRO and all of that. So that's why you end up having to do like tricky stuff like the deep fakes or whatever. I think that's where the logic takes you there, or maybe humoring people that you don't actually believe in to see what they become. But then those are the mind control games. So you still haven't built the bridge to actual action. That's what I like about Paul's philosophy, is he's picked a real act in the license and license plate, which is measurable and objective, but that doesn't appear so far to have stimulated
but
real
it doesn't
energy.
begin and end there, your fellow. It's the taxation, right?
Yeah.
How could anybody claim to not be a slave when you got a group arbitrarily telling you how much of your labor you're going to give them? That's the definition of slavery.
But if you be honest, we are all slaves as long as we're in this physical body.
No. We're not doing Gnostic poisoned well philosophy where you can just abdicate responsibility and accountability on all levels.
But you still have responsibility. Like
we're not doing the whole you're in bondage because you have a body game.
No, I don't really believe that. But I'm saying I don't really believe that. But it gets deeper than that. Like the surface.
Bro,
why would you say it if you didn't believe it? Why would you say that if you didn't believe it, considering the point that like we were just trying to communicate about? Tracking the conversation.
Because a lot of people think they're outside of it, yet they participate in certain things that they know are go against it. They're like what Paul was saying, happy participants, right? So it's like this, like back when they had actual slaves, right? There'd be the house slave, As long as you give somebody some sort of like a house slave privilege, they don't give a fuck. They're gonna regulate.
See,
all
that's
the
the thing. Follow Cage, like catch up to the conversation, man. We know about house slaves and field slaves. You don't need to tell any of us on the panel that. We're talking about why are people so passive in regards to their principles. We have
because it's a cop out. It's an easy cop out. It's so much easier to point the finger than it is to.
But that's a point. That's what we're not doing. Like we're actually trying to turn the mirror on ourselves and saying, well, here's an example of traveling or doing our business or whatever example we want to pick that they're picking, and saying you had to behave.
Well, I've seen this shit. Like I've seen like the top people. Like I've laughed at their face. They pointed a gun in my face. I laughed at them, told them to shoot me, and watch what's gonna happen to them after. And they knew. They knew they couldn't even fucking do it. I'm saying that's the mentality you have to have. Like they're fucked either way.
In the West, we're all the house slave. We have a nice, comfortable place to live. We got running water. We got hydro. We got food. We're never in need of anything.
Who on panel hasn't had a gun pulled on them? Who on panel hasn't had a gun pulled on them?
Probably all of us.
Okay, so Cage, that's the point, man. We're trying to have this like conversation about why are we so locked into the mind control and not able to like galvanize on a
because it's been implanted
outside of our
into
individual lives.
mind.
I thought
I'll tell you why, my friend.
Maybe I'm misreading that.
I'll tell you why, my friend. Because it's been implanted. It's like injecting a code into the fabric of reality through the subconscious mind.
You know why? Because a lot of people have egos, and when Paulie Boy talks about the facts of the matter, what he's done and not done, folks like Aluma Tommy say everyone's cucking to me, because everyone who doesn't have a twisted ego immediately gets in line and goes, well, I haven't done these things because I know I'm a punk ass coward, so I'm gonna have to defer to him.
I don't know.
The same way I
would
have when I got in a room with motherfuckers who were doing it. I didn't try to equalize with them and tell stories about guns being pulled on me. Big fucking deal. I said, these motherfuckers are walking it and living it. I'm not, because I'm a punk ass bitch. Let me get in line and shut the fuck up, or walk it and then I could talk it.
Exactly. And you know what? The more I hear, like, I've realized that you can learn something from everybody. And Paul definitely has a lot of knowledge. Everybody has a lot of knowledge. Benson,
here we go with this. This is another form of equalization, right? Where we got to just say every single day, all day, we can learn from everybody. What the fuck have I learned from the majority of people that come on these panels? I'll wait.
Well, not much, but you know what you have learned?
Because there's not much to learn. So you could keep putting forth this equalization idea that everybody that comes forth, unless you're going to learn how to not live and how to not be a fool.
But hold on, you can look at it. I know that.
So I can learn that from anybody. What to not do.
But I had the exact same thoughts.
What the fuck am I going to learn that I can't learn on YouTube from the majority of folks who just show up on the panels?
All right, listen for a second. I've had these exact same thoughts as you. Like I've contemplated this, and what I've deduced from it is, even if you think you're not, what it will do, it'll reinforce the thoughts that you already know to be true, the truth. So it's a reinforcement of truth, even if the people that have absolutely nothing to say, a bunch of idiots, like slaves, and whatever terminology you want to put to it, that teaches you how not to be like that. Either way, so there is something to learn. Regardless.
Right. So you learn in the antithetical. What the fuck not to be? Great. So I show up on a bunch of panels filled with people like.
It's more multifaceted than that.
Wow. That's like great for me and people like
it's more multifaceted.
The alternative to that is like you could learn what to be by getting on panel with me and others, and you choose not to because you're a punk ass coward.
Well, no, Paul, you've assumed,
and we all won't have no problems.
Well, you've assumed the role of being somebody participating in the conversation.
No, I've assumed the role of the loudest fucking voice in the room because I'm tired.
You're not an active. You're not an active observer. You're a participant. So therefore, you have
my whole life actively observing before I decided to get in the fucking game and participate, not be a slave.
In a certain way, you have to teach others, not by what you say, but your actions, right? So your actions prove and show some, validity to what you're fucking spewing out of your mouth. And that actually has a beneficial effect. Like I said, it's planting seeds.
Look, Bad Barney No Bullet needs help, Cage. Can we help him? Because he's another one who's now lately broken bad because his ego got hurt. I thought God made everyone equal. Why is there a need to equal up? No, God created everyone equal, and then a lot of you didn't use your time, energy, and attention properly.
Exactly.
It's and there. That's why we're not equalized. There's a power differential, haven't you noticed? Because
exactly. If you're not,
application of knowledge is even more powerful. Have you not noticed?
I completely agree with what you're saying, Paul.
So we're not equal. Energetically, as a being, we're all one self, consciousness and awareness. As a beingness on the scoreboard in this life, we're far from equal.
See, exactly, Paul. I've been saying this actually the other day. What it is, it's like, yeah, we all have the same potential, but we're not utilizing it, and therefore, we're not equal. Because we are equal technically, like it's there. You can access it, but most people are trained and even willingly participating not to do so. So therefore, they give up their power and become a slave and become a lesser being. Yeah, but they all have the potential to be as great as anyone else. That's the thing. So I completely agree with what you're saying.
Died for your sins, or no, not for, because of. Just remember that. If
we all have a brain.
If they chase Alan me one day, Daddy died because of your slave sins. Not for him, to absolve him, because of him. For Bad Barney and all the rest down there who won't stop being a
force
slave.
The hand. Don't force the hand.
And won't stand up so we can all not be enslaved. If they chase Alan me, just like the Christ of being, Daddy died because you're a slave.
Fundamentally, yeah.
What if
philosophy?
Hold up, okay, just 1 second and let me toss something in here.
Yep.
Hey, Paul, what if that sort of martyrdom, messianic complex is the end result of the mind control program? Like in a personal narrative that you feel the need to, you know what I mean? Conceptualize your own journey like that.
It can become a self-fulfilling prophecy because of the narrative they've put forward subconsciously, yes. And that's why I'm aware, especially when I'm not on here, to check myself and to go with my heart to that, space of reflection and presence and awareness, right? But let's make it clear. To deny the possibilities of a cause and effect realm where beings have free will to make choice would be foolishness. So I didn't say it has to happen that way. Hope it doesn't. I have faith that it won't. If it does, I have to be ready because that's the law. It's not like I haven't already seen there's a possibility for that. It's not like I haven't had dozens of interaction with policy enforcement, many of which have ended up with my body being harmed.
Hey, Benton, I want to play stuff from Gaia. You're going to get copyrighted.
Chase Allen, I think, is a fake story. I think it was created.
Right. So we're going to do the I think it's fake. Okay. So someone might have died.
No, I don't. I don't.
Okay, because it's not like policy enforcement.
I don't know that it's
year out in the street. So we'll just make it fake, so we don't have to do nothing, or so when we do something, we don't have to confront that we may have to give our life to stand our rights and freedoms at that point.
That's a human condition, right, Paul? Pointing the finger.
Bro, why can't you all just look at your body and go, "This is
not me," getting rid of accountability.
Why
let's put the onus on someone else. Let's get rid of accountability in any way, shape, or form we can. And that's exactly what's going on. You know what I mean? Blame Satan, blame God for the good things, blame the devil for the bad. It's all nonsense. It's all part of your fucking brain. If there's one person that was actually within truth and, was actually completely, all we need is one. Everything would change. There's no one out there that's doing it yet.
All I'm saying is
interest to believe one is Christed, whether you believe that or not. I could speak on that, but I don't even really get into that feeling space or needing that to be true. It's like so boiled down to simplicity. Don't want to be a slave? Don't act like one. When they call you one, rebut it. What is it you don't get about that?
It's so fucking easy, bro. Come on.
Would it make sense that the Christed being, whoever it is throughout history, is only a man worthy of veneration because he did that? So when we do that, we are that because it's a free man. Okay? So you could sit in the chat and tell me how you believe on Jesus and it's Shaitan's interest for us to be free men and women. I don't think it is. I think it's in Shaitan's interest for us to not walk like Jesus, not live like him, and wait for him to do it all like you wait for all the system to do
exactly.
it all.
So it's like, yeah, it's not having accountability and waiting for someone else to fix the shit you created yourself.
You also seem to think that everybody's like you, running through life believing and not believing shit. Did you ever ask if I know or not? No, you didn't, because you projected. You think there's no space in reality where a motherfucker could know true enough and not know the rest and be okay with that. I don't have to know. Far from it. There's certain things I do know, true enough for me, and they work and get results, and you can't destroy them with objective, logical argument.
That's because you're working within natural law, Paul.
Right. Oh, wow. So we're bringing up like natural law now. That's an amazing concept, that there's an inherent program.
The Hermetic principle, the algorithm of reality. Yeah.
Right. And they want to run from themselves and that law and overwrite creation and tell me how I'm working for Shaitan. It's laughable.
I don't think you are. I think you have a good heart, to be honest. I think you are kind of abrasive, and you have a way of representing things that it is abrasive in a manner, but it doesn't matter. Truth is truth, no matter how it's presented. It doesn't matter how it's presented, right? That means you're being emotionally. It's a me egotism type.
My energy and presentment is only abrasive to the insecure. To motherfuckers who want to be better, my presentment is inspiring and lifts the morale and makes people want to do and be more. Okay, the same way
for the average program. I'm talking about the average pawn program.
I'm not interested in the average weak ass slave.
You should be, because if you hold on, if you want to change,
I'm not, because they ain't interested in me.
But if you want to change something, it's all about.
I didn't tell you that I had to change something. That's your egoic ambition with AI videos, trying to change shit without changing yourself. Once you change yourself, there's nothing else to change out there.
You could change yourself.
You give up that ego game. You help people who come forth and say, Paulie boy, I see value, help me. I help them all day, every day.
No, but Paul, I'm sure you've learned and you've been influenced by others and other things that you've seen.
I did that on my own time. It didn't require an interaction with me and anyone else or
So
anything.
I'm saying
take in information, update it, work on it, do it.
So I'm saying it's like the torch of initiation, right? You have to pass that torch along.
Right, and then that torch is passed. It's informational, right? I'm giving you the information you need, the same information I needed to act on and be who you need to be. So go do that. Go do that and see what happens and see if you could go past it. That's
so I'm saying we didn't create this stuff. Like, this stuff has been passed down.
Absolutely.
Yep.
It's the beginning of time, bro. The Christ of being said the truth, life, and way. Be a free man. Walk with the creational force. Follow your intuition and the spirit and your conscience. Let it be your guide, right? Yes. And then you're out of the matrix, so to speak.
The electromagnetic matrix of reality.
Yeah. They don't want it. They want another few pieces of silver. They give us the mob Barabbas. It's the same story since the beginning of time. I don't need to have it's a great point. That's why I love your fellow, because he'll make you think and he'll hold you accountable. Well, go to the other side of the argument and explain that. I love that. That's how you keep me honest.
That's how you learn. That's how you learn.
Fucking bullshitted around. So
that's how you learn.
Right? But the reality is there's no difference between Joe Biden and Donald Trump and everybody around me now, including my father. They could be taking me off like this, right? Go, Paulie boy, carry your own cross. So now I'm carrying up the thing. And I got my father, my uncles, all the rest of these fake-ass motherfuckers saying, we're going to vote for Joey and Donnie again. Give us Barabbas. As they're taking me off to another box or to my death. It's literally the dynamic. So you're going to be a free man. You're out of the system. Render unto Caesar what is his. Government can't own or create anything. So you give them nothing.
If you're not willing to die for freedom, you'll never have freedom. But propaganda is insidious. And if we don't understand how insidious propaganda is, we can be propagandized.
Freedom is never an inherent thing given to you. It's something earned. Just like everything in life, nothing in life is free. For example, on this YouTube, right? You can download, this shit probably comes pre-installed on your phone. You know what? You're the fucking goddamn, you're the product. They're harvesting your information, selling it to advertisers and making money off of it. This is why it's quote unquote free. It's not really free. You're agreeing to letting them sell your information. It's just like anything else. Right? Nothing is free, not even freedom. If you want freedom, you have to earn it.
by going out and getting your weed license.
It's not that. It's creating a bunch of businesses since you're like a young teenager and not working for people and getting a really good lawyer and accountant and getting your family out of a terrible situation. And
by jumping when Trudeau says jump.
Right.
No,
Tommy now in his delusion thinks that the Christ of being was telling everyone to pay taxes to Caesar because his face was on a coin, right?
Well, it's like you don't want to self-destruct yourself like that bad. Like you have to feign resistance, and it's like feigning resistance. Like let's say someone runs up to you trying to rob you, and they put a gun to your head. You don't go and draw your own gun out on them. Whoa.
No, it's called public pimping and macking, where even when you lie, you tell the truth. I do it.
I'm saying, Paul, you don't just like
go to the masses and you give them a double statement where they, with no understanding, go and give their coins to them, and they say Jesus said do it. No, he said to you in no uncertain term, render unto them and him what is theirs. If you understood law, he who creates controls. That gold and that silver comes out of the ground. It's given in trust by God. Okay?
Yeah, no, so I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying, Paul.
But they will do it saying he said it because he kept himself safe from being considered part of a
But hold on. You interrupted
Just keep
my
talking
point.
over me. You all know so much.
You interrupted the point I was trying to make, right? So if somebody comes and robs you with a gun, you don't draw out a gun when they're watching you, holding the gun to you. You wait, you feign resistance, you let them do what they have to do, and at the end, when you have your opportunity, you pull out your own shit and you take care of them. That's the same way with the whole government and being a slave and all that, right? You have to feign resistance. You have to play their game in a certain way so you can use it, use the game against them that they try putting you into. Right. So when they're not expecting it, then you make your move. I mean, you make them think like you're like everyone else going along with it, and then boom. So
I have no idea what you're talking about or what any of that means.
It's a pretty simple fucking thing.
I wasn't really following it, to be completely honest, either.
Okay, so let me reiterate it then. So pretty much it's called feigning resistance, right? Like all these laws, all these things we have to follow along with. It's like the best strategy wouldn't to, it's like if somebody pulled a gun on you and is trying to rob you, right?
Oh, he's just going to repeat the whole thing. We heard what you said.
Yeah, so it's feigning, it's utilizing the situation.
What you're saying makes no sense. It's not applicable. You think that it's profound and it's meaningless.
How is that meaningless, right?
Well, I'll just say when a couple dudes got the drop on me delivering pizzas with the pistol, I ran like Forrest Gump. That's what I did. I ran through the neighborhood like Forrest Gump because I had no pistol to defend myself. It was the dark of night, and I wasn't trying to get shot. So I don't know about fainting anything if people are chasing you with the gun or whatever.
Fainting resistance means like it's like a fake complying, right?
The word is feigning. It's not fainting, okay?
Yeah, fainting.
Exactly.
So you might want to use the words you're using correctly and probably know how to spell them and what it all means before you
FEINING.
No, wrong. You can't spell, you can't communicate, you don't know words and terms, how they go together. You can't map reality worth a damn to give it to anybody. Because you haven't changed yourself and you haven't done it from the ground up. So how could you create a mapping and give it to someone else?
That's how you spell it, my friend. I don't know what to tell you there, but it's pretty much
there's
what it means.
A G in it. It's not FAIN. The man's got it right there. Why am I even saying anything? He just pulled it up. You don't even know how to spell and what you're talking about.
Well, according to the software, that's the wrong spelling. It depends.
Right. So you need AI to tell you how to be intelligent. You need artificial intelligence to tell you how to be humanly intelligent. Humanely intelligent, right?
All right, look.
There's our problem. You got folks on AI all day
glow thruster movement, especially in boxing.
Natural intelligence. You don't have enough NI to be playing with AI.
Well, look at this definition of it. It's actually more. It actually makes more sense to what I was saying, right?
No, you're lying.
Yes, it's fainting. It's like you're letting you're letting them do something, and then you already have something set up after. You know, you're feigning it or fainting it, whatever you want to call it.
Right, but we get the point. But the thing is it's not like a collective feint, right? We're not fooling we somehow tricked the government. We've got him. And what is Brian O'Shea doing with the smile? What are you doing, dude? How's Brian O'Shea doing over here? What's up, Brian O'Shea?
Hey, don't let me derail this. Don't let my smile just derail this thing. I'm in a live. I gotta be quiet anyways.
Okay, Brian, it kind of reminds me of.
He's been doing this.
He reminds me of Chris
thing.
Pontius.
I like it.
He's like Chris Pontius. Are you related to him?
Come on, guys, keep up the drama. Don't start getting all cuddly with me. This is great content. I'm in a library here. I'm gonna get kicked out of it. Keep talking.
I apologize. Yeah, Kate, I don't see this like social fake out that people are doing. Really, like that's.
But I'm saying if you want to play the game, that's the best way. You act like you're going along with their shit, but then you wait for your opportunity.
What's the difference between acting like you're going along with their shit and just going along with their shit?
Because you have your own plan.
I approach this a different way and say, like, yeah, I guess you're right. Having to have a license to freely travel, a right I should have to use my property. You're right. That is sort of slavery. I gotta.
Well, how do you beat them? How do you beat them at their own game, right? You're gonna have to kind of.
Enough people have to stand up and do real action. Yeah, just real quick, Wizard. Just 10 seconds. Enough people apparently have to stand up and do real action because we're too cowardly as individuals to do that action independently.
and
that apparently seems to be the situation. But what do I know?
We got to spread awareness, pound pavement, and come together to do what we can't do alone. If we get enough people in a group, finally we'll develop the balls to actually get it done.
And how do we beat them at their own game? What makes you think it's their game? If everything they did is a repetition of what they observed in their natural experiences, doesn't that come from the natural world first? Again, you cannot control that which you did not create. Just because you changed it a little bit and turned that tree into a piece of paper doesn't mean you have control. So the words on the paper mean nothing as well. See, I did a video one time on definition. Did you know that in fact, and every court will agree with this, that the definition of every word is just another man's opinion based on his subjective observances? That's why we have this issue with object and subject, because you can only subject what is to your objective observances for yourself. You can't apply them to everybody else.
But the thing is, what it would be apparent to me is the more clarity that one has, the more present and aware the more observant one is, separate from the ego, the more one is able to correlate their firsthand experience, subjective experience, with the objective definitions, in which case now maybe you're in some form of alignment. So yes, Webster wrote a dictionary. They called him a crazy person, maybe even a white gorilla. Hundreds of years later, we use that as the standard. But again, maybe the reason we use that as a standard is because the man was able to subjectively observe and then create an understanding and a mapping that you could give away to each subject that would describe the objective reality a little bit better, right?
So really, it boils down
our own way.
Yeah. So Paul, what you're saying right there, to add on to the great information you're saying, it's pretty much like mental alchemy, or working within natural law, regardless. So what you're saying is that there's an outline that's being portrayed that stands the tests of time, because it's like a formula. You add certain things together, you get a certain result, and then
Okay, again,
it goes
proven a point perfectly proven in Roots. If somebody comes from a certain area and it's called a certain thing, and you subject it to slavery and tell them that that's their new name, and they don't agree with it, is it their new name? So again, if I go out and I tell somebody that thing there is a tree, and they think about it and they say, okay, they agree that it's a tree. Now, if we go to a third person and we tell them together that that's a tree, and he says, no, and he calls it something else.
Doesn't matter, though. It's just a name.
Exactly. It doesn't matter because in reality, nature itself doesn't define anything. Only man does that. So get off the fucking definitions.
It's the essence of it.
Of the spirit of which they came from.
The essence, the spirit, whatever you want to call it.
This is where Terence McKenna called the felt presence of immediate experience. I don't need words and terms and definitions. I use them like fingers pointing to the moon, like the Tao says. The moon is right there. If you're not in your own way and your vision is not skewed, we can all look at something together and say, we're having this experience. We're shown this experience. So why, again, this is just a testament to how we've become so broken or confused or just cowardly that we play games where we have to sit around for months and years talking about something that you should be able to look and see.
Automatically, it should be a natural thing that everyone should know, right? But that's the thing. That's why we have the dark occultists and the social engineers that try keeping people away from this very purposefully. Okay, you wonder why? Why? Because it's being done on purpose, Paul. You know.
Like I said, I think it's real simple sub-psychology. Majority of folks know what's going on here on some level. They've thrown in with it, and they're too cowardly to get out. It's not that it's easier. It's not that they can't see it and feel it. It's that they don't believe they can achieve it.
It's easier just to go along with it, and it's a destruction of the
well, that's ignorance, and you can't serve two masters. There's nescience and ignorance. You did not know, you know, and you chose not to change. So
that's the issue. So how do we change this? You know?
Be more afraid of what's going to happen to you living like a slave, and follow.
No, I'm saying we're good. Like let's assume we're not slaves now. How do we change all the other slaves then?
You don't.
You can't
be egoic and ambitious to change other motherfuckers. You just show and tell who and what you are, and then give them the opportunity to do what they wish. But for me to sit here, and I may love everybody down in chat, for me to sit here and be emotionally invested and burdened by their walk and their journey for them to change, that would fuck us both up.
Well, and why would I think that it's appropriate for me to intervene into whatever some of these bozos have going on in the masses? That's their trip.
That's egoic and arrogant to think that you're so smart and different, you're going to come here and do what all the rest of the great men haven't done before. Teach a bunch of willing slaves how to not be cowards and slaves. I don't think people are going to get it done. I think at best you're going to take one person at a time over because they're going to see and feel the truth and realize they've always been like that and they've never been part of this thing. So one by one, they're just going to step out, and it's going to happen organically by the observance of truth and action.
Yeah, I like that. It will happen organically. So it's not about like what you said. It's not about like trying to get every person possible. It goes back to the planting of the seed. Like the seed will germinate in the slave's mind eventually. Everyone's on the same path, and they have to walk that path no matter what.
The kingdom of heaven is few. The meek shall inherit the earth. Meek doesn't mean weak to me. It means if we got like a few thousand motherfuckers here and we all get on the same page and go down to the same land and start really working, they're going to tank this economy. They're going to put these people in biological terror. But guess what? We're going to be right there doing what the fuck we've been doing for months and years while they go through hell on earth. And guess what's going to happen afterward? We're going to be right there to come out of it.
Exactly. And the parable of the seed is actually a story about survival of the fittest type thing. Whereas the seed that falls along a path that isn't well weathered, it doesn't grow well. But if it seeds, those seeds will be stronger and be able to take up in that terrain, the same as its parent did. This is the premise of you don't need to do anything. Once you spread that seed, it should grow on its own.
It's an automatic function.
So we're not here to force anybody else to do anything. We're just here to plant the seed. That's it.
Exactly. I true-heartedly believe in that. And we got Freedom saying if we all put our shrunken soy generals together, we could have one fully functional being with testicular fortitude.
But
Slaves
if
unite.
that seed, we can't go on doing nothing else. We have to continue showing why we plant the seed. And that is the action that those other seeds are supposed to take up in coming together.
And the funny thing,
meeting, but working together.
Exactly. And Wizard, the funny thing about a seed is, right? A seed can germinate or grow in many different environments. Right? So the environmental factors of that individual that you're planting the seed in, it'll eventually germinate. It may germinate in a longer period of time or a shorter period of time, depending on the environment of that individual. But either way, it's still there. It could, it could abort itself and not germinate and turn into mush. But either way, you plant enough of them, it's an automatic germination. So it's like repetition of information, because repetition of information dictates reality, because reality is dictated through the subconscious mind. So if you repeat certain things, there's nothing new under the sun. As Paul was saying earlier, it's like, why are you telling me the shit on the back of the cereal box? Why? Because you should fucking be reminding yourself of it regardless, because repetition creates subconscious.
Right. I remind myself every day that I'm not special. I'm not unique. Paulie Boy Unslaved is a character idea on the world stage. All I am is a life force, an animated beingness, a spirit having a human experience. This body will fall away and I'll go wherever, and nothing will matter at that point other than what I did and did not do in between. So I remind myself of that all day, every day. That's how I can move forward past the fear into faith and do what I do, knowing that the majority of people can't because of what they say on paper they're going to do to everybody. Do it.
Yeah, get it over with already then.
That's it. Get it over with and do it. I don't play those games, man. I learned that shit early on. I don't like that feeling. I'd rather go the other way with it. Call me oppositional, defiant, whatever. They labeled me with that early on, right? You're going to tell me I'm going to meet you at the flagpole at 3:00 and beat your ass with 5 people? I ain't going to sit there worrying all fucking day and be put through that unnecessary fear.
Well,
I'm either going to surrender it or I'm coming all 5 of you throughout the day, one at a time.
No, well, yeah, you don't want to get added to the list. But either way, what it is people that threaten people, like, oh, meet me here. Those people are not people to be feared or even respected or even worried about. Real motherfuckers move in silence. You would never even have even like one little fucking iota of whatever you want to call it. You would not have any fucking thought of this happening. They move in silence. That's who I'd worry about. People who don't talk like that, Those people like that. They're not serious.
The premise of that we spoke on the other night, Paul. Remember we were talking about being in prison, and when you were able to walk in prison at 120 pounds and walk like a full-grown man because that's what you act like, and you don't go run in your mouth. Again, it's actions speak louder than words. So all the punks running around the yard, running their mouths, don't ever do anything but run their mouths. While the guy sitting in the corner ain't got nothing to say, you don't roll up on him.
That's the person you don't want to fuck with.
Exactly.
It's like this. It's like even like dogs show us this, right? Like little chihuahuas, the little dogs are always barking, going crazy on the big dogs, and the big dogs are just chilling.
Here we go with more emotional twists down there to justify your lifestyle. That meek means poor and humble, right? It's strength under control. It's strength under control. Okay, that's my understanding.
Meekness is the guy that goes forth in a battle as a young man, David Goliath, little and meek. He's not afraid. It doesn't mean you're afraid. It doesn't mean you're weak.
Doesn't mean you're poor and broke. It doesn't mean you walk around with your head down like this.
The meek will inherit the earth.
You're not of the same stature as the physical sized men such as giants.
Kind of like one man going up against the whole state of corporation. You mean like that? I'm so sick of you motherfuckers and your bullshit appeal to try to justify your shit and demean me.
Well, Paul, you know what?
Read the Calvo Doctrine as it relates to the story of David and Goliath. David was, like I said, the meek little man, meaning he wasn't afraid or anything, and he brought to the table the age of his ability. And that is a correlation to the Calvo Doctrine. It says, even myself, I have as much power in my little pinky as the sovereign power than any nation and all nations put together have.
You do. It's true. It's true, Wizard. You do.
It's going to the spiritual power, not the physical force.
You have all the power, bro. That's what they're trying to take away from people. It's fucking astounding. amazing how much power people actually really have that's being kept away. But what Paul was saying is very true. You know.
Well, nothing's being kept away from me, by the way. That's a state of disempowerment if something can be kept away from me.
They're attempting
Well, but when I set my will, I am never denied. Nothing ever stops me when I set my will and intention. I've never been stopped, which leads me to believe I never will be.
The full verse, behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Be ye therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves. Okay. So what that is, that's showing you, once you come to realization of your power, right? It's you have the weapon on you. All you have to do is point and squeeze, and you could destroy something. But you realize that that's probably not the best way. It's only used first, in the right manner. Right? So it's like having power and not using it.
When we look at Strong's,
like martial arts,
we see that, and when we look at Strong's concordance, we see that it goes to this difficult to translate root means more than meek. Biblical meekness is not weakness, but rather refers to practicing God's strength under his control. In other words, the force majeure, the greater power or greater force. Power versus force. So you use his power as the physical force, and you're the greatest source of life on earth. Every breath you take is an act of God.
But that's why I say I'm a facilitator. I ain't one of these Kabbalistic magicians where I think I got the thing to point at somebody and do something. That ain't even in my makeup, right? You lose the power, I believe, that way. All you got to do is facilitate. This is who and what I am. This is the truth of the facts of the matter. What do you want to do? Make your next move carefully. When you make it, this thing's going to decide what happens next. And I'm going to step right back and say, see how it works?
Because what you're talking about a mechanism of natural law that people say is magic, but really it isn't, right? I could hand you this phone right now or this laptop that you're on 200 years ago, 300 years ago, and that would be magic. It's a mechanism that we don't fully understand.
But what I believe is that what they call the quantum field, they all like to talk this shit. We influence the field. No, motherfucker. I influence the field because with awareness comes catalytic response. So the more that you're aware and the more I make you aware and I give you informed consent on this universal contract and you don't want to go forward with good honor and good faith, you get consequences like that would have taken 6 months or 6 years or 6 decades. I'll give you the 666 bondage.
You're done. You're done, bud, as I say.
That's it. I put you right in bondage with the universal law. I gave you the notice. I gave you the intent. I gave you the terms and conditions. What do you want to do now?
So I could tell you guys, you Wizard, all you guys are on the same fucking team, even if you know it or not. So it's good, and it's the truth team, if you want to call it that, the common sense team. Common sense. What about that?
That's how you have cops on the steps whining and crying after 30 years of locking people up and not giving a fuck. Is they dealt with me for 2 weeks, and it wasn't about me. It was about I am that am. I gave him that presence and awareness in that universal contract. And I said, what do you want to do now? And that's all it took, because that thing then starts working on them from their conscious when they're alone. Right.
And notice that meekness in accordance to the Strong says, like it says on the screen right now, without undue harshness. So if the harshness is due, the meek stand up and speak. If it's needed, they get physical. Do not let that be misconstrued.
Exactly. And meek does not mean weak. There's an M instead of a W for a reason.
And I've said this before. I'm not tasked to be humble before other men and women for whom there is no salvation. I'm tasked to be humble before the creator and the creation. That fucking thing knows my heart. I don't go to that thing the same way I come to slaves out here. Okay? And the same way the Christ of being would have said, I'm not casting pearl before swines. And I don't do it like Aaron either, where he runs from a conversation and pretends he's got the high ground. I know who and what I am and what I'm not. Okay? And I understand true enough. So when I put that forth, it is what it is. It stands on its own. Okay? It's not about me as a personality character. So,
Well, guess what? The truth does not give a fuck about anybody. It has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with anyone else. The truth is the truth. Doesn't matter who the fuck is saying it or how it's being presented. It's
that's
still
why-
very true.
And that's
Yeah,
why
you
we
want to
use
argue
that
with me? You
power.
want to be a belligerent combative and be passive aggressive and be a punk ass coward and not come up and speak the word? You get treated like you get treated at court. What's the difference?
Exactly. And that's why they don't allow me in the courts anymore. They realize that I'm starting to use scripture, and that's the base of all law that's written. And when you start learning how to use that power, that's what gives you the strength to then do the enforcement. Because right now we have a system that has no strength, has no power, has no enforcement. It's all in your mind, and it's built on fear alone.
That's because you've learned the game and you're using the game against them, and they see you as a threat. Then as soon as you go in there, they're like, "Oh, we can't say anything about this, and this might interrupt the slave mind. We have to get this motherfucker out of there ASAP." Go hire a fucking.
You should have seen the slaves looking at me and how insane they thought I was when I walk into those courts wearing a hat just to test out the judges. I would walk into open order at court wearing a hat. That lady come in and consistently tell me, "Sir, you need to take your hat off." I tell them, "No, I'm fine. I'm fine." Next thing you know, they'd call the judge. The judge comes screaming through the back door, "Get that hat off in my courtroom." "Oh, it's your courtroom?"
Well,
Yeah.
I know for a fact, I'm gonna just whatever, I'm gonna speak, but just remember, I'm probably lying, right? So if anyone's listening, it's a giant lie. But let's say Cage got charged before, and if you know certain people, right, laws do not pertain to you. It's like all of a sudden evidence is being disappeared, things are being changed.
Bro, so you know a bunch of Masons. That's what we're getting down to here?
It's not that. I'm just saying
I've heard this line from you many times. So you got a quick route to be a punk ass bitch and continue it because you know motherfuckers in the worldly system who will make shit disappear. Great for you. The rest of us don't get that privileged walk. We got to really stand on something.
No, but I'm not a Mason. I have no one in my family as a Mason or any of that. But what it is, it's like this. It's like no matter what happens, reality is it's formulated for you. It's like a particular thing that's formulated. Okay. So it's like even if something like that happens,
police or government agents, and they give you an easy way out of problems. That's what I think you're saying.
No, because I don't at all. But what happened was I knew it shouldn't have happened in the first place. I think my mind, I don't know, the way I talk to people, the way I deal with.
You sound ashamed of whatever it was. You sound like not really empowered by it. You sound kind of ashamed and guilty.
It was fucking amazing. I'm like, yeah, you feel kind of untouchable. I don't want to be a narcissist and act like I'm all fucking empowered by it. But I'm saying anyone can access
how that happened.
Anyone can access that. Hold on. The only point of me bringing it up is that this shit is all rigged, regardless, right? So
right, but how did it happen? Who did you know that got you all your papers moved out of the way and everything just cleared up for you?
My lawyer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's I don't know.
Another man who represents you.
Well, no, he's not. He's the type of person where you have to do the work and pretty much give it to him to present, and then you'll get rid of it. So it's all about doing the work yourself. He's not going to go out of his way to do it for you, but you do it yourself and you bring it in there and you have an advocate there that happens to know people and you get it gone,
Right. Yeah,
so,
I don't accept that. I will not have another man present anything at court for me and speak for me. Thank you. I'd rather go to jail.
I know. Jail's no fun though.
Yeah, I know, but girls just want to have fun and I ain't no little bitch, so I guess sometime a man does what he needs to do, huh?
Mm-hmm. Well, it's like damage control.
Yeah, so. See, I came to learn what my pappy didn't teach me was that another man can't speak for another man. So I don't care.
Well, he's not. He's saying
I
exactly.
I don't care what the benefits are. I don't let other men speak for me because that's dishonorable.
In a sick kind of way, it's kind of making an AI bot that's your fucking lawyer.
I'm not going to play your qualification games. Men don't let other men speak for them. That's what bitches do. Bitch says on the side of the car, "Hey, that's my man. He gonna speak for me."
Well, even the court, you know what's funny about that, Paul?
No. That's what broken hoes and bitches do. Even women.
No, I do agree with you.
I do agree with you. They just play their role and shut the fuck up because they.
I agree with you in that sense, Paul. But you know what's funny though?
That's not how that works.
You have to give the absolute.
From the beginning of time to the end of time, with any society worth a damn, a man speaks for him fucking self and holds himself accountable.
Let's ask Wizard about
the only time
this.
someone gets spoken for is a woman and a child, because that's my property.
Hold on, Paul.
And I
Let me
might
say
have to
something
kill
quick,
to keep it.
my friend. Let me say something quick. So let's ask Wizard about this. All right. Even in court, even if you have someone representing you, a lawyer, you are the person who has to either say guilty or not guilty. You are the person who has to say certain things, right? Like the onus is still.
You don't have to say shit.
You don't. Well, if you want to like play their game, you do.
Yeah, if you want to play their game.
If you want to be a bitch and a hoe, you keep qualifying all the statements. You keep saying you have to. There's two kind of people who use the term have to. Children and slaves. Even a child and a dog don't have to, because you could beat them.
Well, legally, if you say nothing, if you know, there's
legally,
if you say nothing at all, then it's going to be a no contest, and you're still going to.
Why are you worried about what it's going to be, bro? There's your problem. You having ends justifies the means, mind, and heart. You're a slave. That's not fair.
No matter how they judge you, vengeance is always going to be his. So just like Jesus being hung on the cross, you're supposed to hate your own life and sacrifice your life to them.
I know, but I'm saying.
Yeah, RT just said something. He finally made a point down there.
Wizard, you know how the legal system
The Amish
works.
people are meek people. They don't go by policies and codes. They don't give a fuck what anybody thinks. They're just like me. And guess what else they have? A whole bunch of fucking guns for your bitch ass if you want to play with them. Without numbers on them.
Lead therapy. Bullet without a name. Enough. All I'm saying is these people are done regardless. Like all these pussies. I'm saying we're all forced into this fucking system, into this nonsense, which is like a rabbit hole, you know, by itself. And really is a bunch of fucking bullshit. That's all it is. So like, I can't really give you a good answer on something that's fucking bullshit either way. But I'm not gonna sit around and let myself get fucked. You know what I mean? I'm gonna at least try playing their game, not playing it, but using their game against them, feigning resistance, as you said. You know what I mean? Someone holds you up with a gun to your head, wait until they look away and they put the gun down and then do something. I mean, just wait your time. Wait for your opportunity. And that's my mentality, the whole reason why I brought it up.
Well, and Cage, just for a second to toss something in here to stir the pot for a second. So considering what happened the last few years with like the whole COVID thing or whatever, like, so we have this interim time between sort of major psyops or operations. What philosophy towards truth, and I understand they're both interrelated or whatever, but what philosophy of truth is going to better prepare the so-called truth community for the next evolution of their psyops?
I think it's one word, accountability. So it's not blaming anything external, like, oh, we have these, like, you know, psyops, these conspiracies, and we're all like a victim of it. No, that's nonsense. We're a victim of our own mind. We're our own worst enemy. I think if you want truth, we have to start looking introspectively and realizing that we have a lot more power in this world than what seems, right? Like, we have to start looking at our mind and our reality and why we went through all this nonsense in the first place. Because I think we're giving up our power and giving it away to someone else that somehow controls all this stuff. Which I don't.
Yeah. So what are you waiting for, Cage? You can begin that process anytime you want to, man. What are you waiting for?
For his lawyer to tell him how to do it.
Bro, I was a little kid. I'm talking about shit like in the past, whatever. I'm saying now, I don't do anything illegal, or I don't cause any loss, injury, or harm to anybody, so I don't have to worry about stuff like that. And even back then, I never did. I didn't.
You also don't exercise your rights completely, or you'd be at court fairly regularly.
No, because you're still dealing with a human being, right? So if you're able to kind of connect to the person, maybe even like, you know, change the way they think, just having like a short interaction, you're actually able to get away with a lot more.
What makes you think you can change the way somebody thinks? What are you basing that on? What makes you think that you can alter someone else's thought process?
You can induce them with an electromagnetic field, and the cop will, like, whatever, they're going to let you go. Like, they're not going to, you know, they're going to hear what you're saying and just be like, all right, continue, whatever, you know, on to the next thing. It's not a part of your shit. So again, that's another way of kind of like avoiding or putting it onto others in a way. But That's how it goes, right? That's how the human mind is built. It's built to pretty much keep the individual.
And I was more talking like day to day. So like we spend time on these panels and we're talking about a lot of concepts and ideas and histories and potential theories and all this stuff. And I'm saying it doesn't seem like many people, I hear about it talked sort of as like a past thing, but what about the recognition that, you know, like medical tyranny or those sorts of things are about to occur? If they're about to occur, I'm not so sure, who knows? But
they have been occurring already.
Yeah, but right, even more to my point than Cage, if they're about to occur, if they are occurring, should we be, you know, studying morals and dogma and trying to tease all the, you know, ins and outs of the Illuminati, or should we be creating a culture of actually standing up on simple, obvious, you know,
well, you guys do love using Bible references,
that or doing the other one, which is going to prepare us better for the next psyop?
Well, you love, I'll tell you, you love your Bible quotes, right? So know thy enemy, right? It's even in like the Tao, the Art of War, and all that. So in order to defend against something, you cannot defend against something unless you have complete knowledge.
Bro, you just said that the enemy was us. We're our own worst enemy. So by knowing the enemy, it's really a test to know thyself and stop giving your power away. Go into faith over fear.
Exactly. And see, the weapon is the mind, right? So it's that thing.
And don't sit there and do this whole thing you all like to do where you go, you love your Bible quotes. Motherfucker, I was smoking the Bible before I was reading it. I ain't that guy.
Did you smoke
I ain't that guy. I correlate to the Bible and all the other spiritual texts when I realize what the fuck is going on here, what I'm a part of. It's that simple.
Everyone did that smoking Bible shit. People did that. Hopefully it was the blank page in the Bible. Hopefully.
Why? Because God's going to damn me to hell forever for smoking words on paper?
Well, no, mostly because ink is not good for you to smoke.
Okay. Well, I accept that. That's probably why I could hardly breathe nowadays. That and me being slightly overweight.
Yeah, ink's not good to smoke, so that's like the health issue there. Might as well make it blank. There's probably some nonsense chemicals on there either way, but yeah, I've known people who did that, the same thing.
Yeah, I love the truth at this point. It's all I have, right? So, you know, it's not about loving the Bible and what's in there. What's in there on some level is in us before it was in there. That's how it got on the paper. It was in us, and then we put it on paper, right? And then the rest of it's pimping, macking, and remixing, like always.
Well, of course, and it's also a great way to control people. Under the name of God or the Bible, the greatest atrocities of humanity have been committed. So it's a nice, like, easy cop out and an excuse to use. Much love, Cleveland. Yeah. For example, here in Canada, they're burying. You can search it up. They found like thousands now of bodies of little children, Aboriginal children, Native kids, under Catholic and Christian churches.
That's old, bro. That's years ago already.
Yeah, but they keep finding more and more.
Yeah, they've been doing that from the beginning of time. They're sacrificing children. We know that. But yeah, you have to ask yourself, we're back to square one. Why are yous all giving? And I love that they say I shouldn't do the yous. I do it on purpose. It's like New York, Brooklyn, right? We're now back on the block. Why are yous all sending your little slave children off to that school to get put under it? I don't know. I don't send them. So, you know, you can cry for the children who you sent there to have genocided and put under the building and raped. Big fucking surprise. Whose fault is it? Every time that you say, the masters are there predating on us, right? Predating us
fault, bro.
in their mastery because we won't master ourselves. Right. It's our fault. So there's really no victims. It's a shame. It has to happen to the child, but you gave your property away. What happens when you give your property away? People crash it, fuck it up, shit on it, and hand it back abused, which means to change it from its original state. So it got abused.
Oof. Probably within their own amusement too, a sick amusement of it all.
Right, but that's why since the beginning of time, a man stood up and said, I got guns, and I got a heart, and I got balls, and I'm going to use them, and you ain't taking what the fuck's mine. What's mine? Ask them women and children. I didn't beat them. I didn't coerce them. And they're going to say, that's my daddy. We're his. Right. We do that for a reason, so you can't take them. I got no ego involved. I don't look at women and children as property in an energetic space. But when I go to talk about them, if they understand what's good for them, they're going to say, we're his property. Because if not, they're going to come in and say, we want to do what's in the best interest of that woman and child, so everyone's getting slaved and going to different institutions. So, again, it goes God, man, woman, child. When we become honor-able, respect-able, action-able men again, our women and children will be up under us, and we will be the guard between them and the state of Shaitan.
It's interesting. This is a conversation going on in my family right now about homeschooling. And the dynamics are a little unique just because of my family, but we've been homeschooling since 2020. And it's been a roaring success, and my kids love it. And they get all the points we're talking, but there's still a little bit of that urge, almost for like the nonsense, the same bullshit we get in social media. On my children's end, they recognize the superiority of the education and the life and all that. But part of them still just has that, social need and that sort of, I don't know, man. It's like going to the movies or something, or listening to music, popular music. There's still that urge to interface with that system. That's why I think
to collectivize, right?
Collective, more like the spectacle, the friends and the event of it.
What it is this, right? A lot of people who hate the police, hate the system, hate all this stuff. Like, we can all see why we think like that. But if you actually took it all the way, most people would not know what the fuck to do with themselves at all. Like, they are reliant on this stuff that they think they hate so much. And really, it's because they have no control of their own fucking mind. Never mind reality.
But that's what's kind of interesting about my experience is, like, that's not really what's happening here. Like, they've had a great experience with the homeschooling, but there's still, that's what I'm saying, that's what makes it interesting just for conversation. Like, there's still
they want to socialize them. They want to socialize them. They want to send them off to a group of other children who haven't been raised properly so they can mix in with them and become like them. What's the difference between socialized medicine or education or all the rest of it?
No, but like
exactly. It's one of the tools of the social engineering program, the epigenetic program, if you want to call it that.
How do you get the children up under the parents? Send them to a whole bunch of other children who are going to teach them how to go counter to their parents. So now you can't raise them and can't lead them and can't form that trust, right? And direct them because they're up under a whole bunch of other slave children who say, well, at home we take Adderall and we do this and we drink red dye and we. So now they're going to come home and go, where's my Adderall and where's my red dye and where's the rest of it?
Pretty much exactly. That's why they attack women specifically, because women are very powerful. Because how do you control an average man? Through money or pussy? Very easy. You know what I mean? So women are specifically targeted with the social.
How do you control an ungodly man, sir? Don't say average, say ungodly.
I'm saying the average pawn, the average sheep, the slave, whatever you want to call it, pawn, sheep, slave.
Yeah,
whatever you want to call it.
You get them
with PSS. Call the PSS, the pawn, sheep, and slaves. Same shit. Either way, this is exactly how they do it. And what they do is they destroy the fucking nuclear family, right? So if you destroy the family, which a lot of us have probably came from fucked up families because they're doing it on purpose. What is left? You are left to be raised by the propaganda, the social engineering, the algorithm, the social media, all that, especially for the younger generation. You know what I mean? They're raised off fucking
simple. This is simple child psychology. If you want to look at it just on that low level alone, we'll just go even bring it over to a dog. You put other dogs around other dogs who don't behave, and they're gonna come home fucking off.
Monkey see, monkey do.
If that dog is looking for validation from the pack leader, it only gives a fuck about the validation from the pack leader.
Exactly. The monkey see, monkey fucking do.
Right. So when you put that child with other peer groups of non-peers who don't have parents raising them, they look for social validation. Paulie boy never did that, even though I was socialized. I didn't give a fuck about social validation. I was an outcast by choice. Most people don't live like that. They want the validation of their peer group. So if you want that, you can't serve two masters. We're back to that concept. Either you want the validation of your parents or you want the validation of your peer group. And usually how it goes in the psychology of a child, I want the validation of the ones most like me. So they do ageism, right? And whatever the circumstance is, because they have a gap in understanding and communication from the adults to themselves. So they spend the rest of their life looking for peer group validation and never for validation from up above, whether it's parents or that creative force.
Exactly. I like how you said up above there, because it does go to the anima and the animus too.
And you know why that is? Because it's a feedback loop process. These children learn when they go to school not to trust the parents at home.
The anima and
lying,
the animus.
cheating, stealing, bullshitters who want authority, control, and domination is not a real bond of trust.
And the phone and the social media provides up to the second, a way to check in with the peer group moment to moment. It's way more diabolical.
It's a hive mind fucking social engineering thing, which it's literally designed to hit dopamine receptors.
But it's because we have no original community. If we had a community of folks communing with higher consciousness, which is really common sense at this point to me, we wouldn't have this. But you have a whole bunch of people without a real home, without a real community, who've been led out of that non-community into false communities.
Exactly.
And I don't think online with most people here.
And to be honest, Paul, if that happened, right, we wouldn't these panels wouldn't be happening as frequently. We probably have like a once a week thing because everyone's too busy dealing with shit in real life, dealing with the shit properly, and then we all converge after.
Yeah, this is a search for a surrogate family that never was. With a lot of these folks, sub psychologically, they're desperately searching for community, meaning, and purpose, and an understanding with a peer group or with someone or something above them, outside of themselves, right? So they're trying to replay. This is all Freudian. It's over and over again. I see it, and they tell me Freud's a dummy, doesn't know nothing. I go, I don't see that. I might not agree with all of it, but there's some stuff that I see playing out over and over again. These mommy and daddy, daughter and son, archetypal dynamics, whether it's with government.
I was going to mention archetypal. You can go into Jungian psychology too, right? So,
thank you. Now that you let us know you're aware of Carl Jung, thank you, Cage. We know that you know stuff.
Well, yeah, it's basic stuff, but it's Paul. I'm telling you, I could.
This is a new thing now. Everyone throws out this week Jungian psychology, and then if I ask them to explain it, they give me no substance.
Well,
it's Man and His Symbols was his famous book, but I'm not an expert in it either.
It's all about symbology, archetypes, and how the subconscious mind really functions and gets infected, if you want to call it like that.
Right. That's why you have so many communities of number counters, color watchers, shape movers, just to trying to dig up all that.
Fun fact, Carl Jung's father was a 33rd degree Mason, so I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
No idea how that applies, but okay.
Well, of course, because how does it apply? There's ancient knowledge, right? Like the esoteric ancient.
Didn't you give us this rap through Andy Taint's AI deepfake already?
No, but all these people, they're ancient psychologists, we call them. They understood how the mind.
Right, I get that, bro. I'm tired of this thing too, where you all want to suck a 33rd degree dick so damn bad I could hear it in your voice. Right? I've met 33rd degree Masons.
I have two.
I've met them and they ain't shit. And they tell me, Paulie boy, we can't believe what you know and how you talk, and we can't do what you do. And honestly,
that's the exact same thing that happened to me because I've met these motherfuckers too.
Right, these are punk ass cowards.
They are. They're low level.
They're low level, and they're shook.
I know they are low level pussies, but it doesn't really matter.
So why do you keep genuflecting to them when we're supposed to replace them? They're meaningless.
Because there's something to learn from that. From
you saying someone's daddy was a 33rd degree dick you want to suck?
We're talking about Carl Jung. Why is Carl Jung such a prominent thing that everyone knows about in psychology?
Because it's fucking pop psychology.
It's because of his fucking father. Because
they heard on YouTube and act like they know something and how to apply it.
No, you're missing the point. It's going over your head.
No, that's the false premise, Paige. That it wasn't his father; it was his own experience in the book.
So many people have.
It's like saying my father's a Donnie Trump dick sucker, and that means what about me? I may as well be the complete opposing being. If you take my father on stage with me, whatever that is, and you put me up here, it's a completely different beingness. So how does it even relate?
Well, Paul, like everything you look through is through the lens of Paul, right? Through your experiences, through I could see, you know, there's family issues, like we all have them, right? So we all look, even
there
myself.
Ain't no family issues. Motherfuckers in my family got issues with truth. I don't.
No, but I know. But this is how the program works. It's a testament. It's a test that's being put onto you, and it's all a part of your own mind. You're
and I'm passing with flying colors. So if it's my own mind's telling me I'm passing with flying colors according to.
How do you feel? How do you feel? Are you feeling good now?
I feel amazing.
Well, there you go. There you go. That's all that matters. So it is your own test that you're
right.
testing yourself in a way.
I feel like the most empowered motherfucker in this room right now. Is that egoic and arrogant?
No, like I think you should.
I didn't say it was true. I just said I feel like it. Feelings aren't all that matters. I'm not Talcati.
No. What I'm saying is this, right? Like you should have some level of narcissism, right? Some sort of confidence.
Narcissism?
No, it's not narcissism, but it's like there's a difference between, everyone always confuses
confidence, man,
with being confident or feeling, knowing who you are in a certain way and how powerful you really are. It's true.
No, it's the Freemasons, bro. No, wait, it's the Zionists, bro. No, wait, it's the.
But I'm just saying it doesn't.
It's the
small Jesuits, hats, bro. It's the Jesuits. No, it's the small hats. No, it's the Russians.
But like I don't know how many
Khazarians. You know about the Khazarians?
I don't know how many real people.
You know about the Knights Templar?
I don't know how many real.
You know about the OTO?
Hyperboreans. It's all the Hyperboreans.
Jabulan.
You know about the Jason Society? You know about the Skull and Bones? You know about the Fabian Socialists?
Jabulan.
You know about the Trilateral Commission?
Do you know about everything else outside of
You
yourself?
know about this attorney for Tatus or whatever the fuck it's called?
Right.
Whatever. And so it's all a bunch of fucking shit.
Right.
And I've actually Paul, I'm a type of person. I investigate this stuff, right? So
I know you do. I know you do.
So I actually go and meet these motherfuckers and actually see who they are. You know what I mean? Like the people that run the Masons, the people that run the Golden Dawn, the OTO, all that. I've literally been in the same fucking environment. And yeah, you bring real to them and they're just like, they look like a bunch of shook little fucking children, regardless. They can't deal with it.
Can we get a little elaboration on that? What does that mean?
I mean, I do my research.
OTW, or not OTW. Oh shit.
He's a gay male prostitute for all these secret societies and fraternal orders. So he's not part of them, but he shows up there for payment, and he blows Rosicrucians and Masons for payment. Right? He's not really gay. He's gay for pay. So that's why he knows it. And he gets a really good lawyer as a result of that.
Yeah, nice nonsense, Paul. I can get into it. But either way, you know what they asked me?
For real, how did you end up, did you reach out to him, send him an email?
Well, it all started through, really what happened, there's this deli over here, right? And it's owned by this, top Freemason. I know it's, he has, all these presidents and political figures and shit, in pictures, big celebrities and that. And I know it's, a Freemasonry symbol in there. So I asked about it. You know what I mean? And he directed me towards getting to talk with certain people. I talked to the Mason, one of the top Masons of North America. And
did you enjoy his meets?
It was just all during coronavirus and that. So it was all online or whatever through Zoom calls. Well, it's a real fucking person. So I had a conversation. He's like, "Oh, why are you interested in this?" And my response was,
"I need a daddy."
No, my response was I'm an investigator. I'm a student of reality. I'm trying to learn the true esoteric meaning behind reality. And you know what his response was? "You're not gonna find that over here." He literally he couldn't even lie. So you're not gonna find that here. You're getting fucked. You're getting fucking tricked. That was it.
I respect that you did that. I think things like that are interesting to try to interface, with groups like that. That's sort of a weird response, right?
Well, yeah, I told him I want the true esoteric, the real meaning of reality, and he says you're not going to find that here.
Because people who hold the ancient knowledge from the beginning of time ain't going to let some slave off the street in the deli fuck the whole organization up.
Exactly.
So they're going to tell you, like Fight Club, you ain't getting shit here, just leave now. They're not going to tell you what they know and don't know.
No, but like that's like a very big, like we had a longer conversation than that, and like you can kind of feel these people out, right? Like obviously they're lying, but like it's like not anything you cannot learn by yourself without being involved. Like I was never talking to these people. He probably already knew too, because they're not stupid. They knew I would never.
Paige, the whole point of
a fucking
bro,
initiation.
If anybody in the organization does know something and is using it, everyone else is on a need-to-know basis, so they don't even know what everyone else knows. And
He probably doesn't even know. It's probably too low. Like these 33rd degree people, that's in the Scottish Rite. You can get that from 3rd degree in the Scottish. I mean, from Blue Lodge Masonry all the way to 32nd degree in one weekend. It's not very difficult to get there. He was 33rd, which is invite only. But even that, I think that's just the beginning. He's probably still like low level in the grand scheme. That's like, it's all compartmentalized, whatever the fuck it's called, like you're saying. Need to know basis. Right? So.
Compartmentalize. That's the word. Compartmentalize.
Compartmentalize, yeah. My bad. You know what I mean. But yeah, I asked him if I could find actual truth here, and he literally told me no, he won't.
And he said, all I have is salty meat for you, young boy.
Paul, that's not my job. That's yours, okay? Now get back into the fucking... Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, they're probably up to some weird shit. Like before I got to meet the top person, right? I was in like a bunch of meetings before. Like you'd have to wear a suit, everything. Like I had to blend in, wear my suit and shit, talk to them. All online. I never like gone into but what they were saying was that one of them there, he was like some old fucking man. What I mean? Like all these people were like super rich old people. That's all it was. And like, one of them there was laughing about how in the 3rd degree, they're trying to like make a veiled thing. Like, oh yeah, they're laughing about people getting raised into Masonry and Blue Lodge, something called the Master Mason degree, 3rd degree. They're all laughing about it because he owns the biggest fucking funeral company in North America. And they all thought it was fucking hilarious how, he was like some funeral master and fucking, they sometimes use the funerals like throughout the world in North America for initiations. You know what I mean? Like for the caskets and the fucking, the funeral home. These fucking idiots. They seem like, I'm telling you, like these people are serious though, like they're everywhere, and like they are doing something, even if they're not aware of it. They're being guided by something else, So.
Oh, they're gonna be laughing soon.
I thought it was hilarious. I'm like, these guys thought it was like a huge joke how he owns like the biggest funeral fucking company. The guy's like a super millionaire that owns like massive funeral company, biggest one in North America. If you want to do
the best part about working for what we call the devil or the powers of this world is they always burn everybody when the time is right. So no one's laughing them, right?
Yeah, they're gonna have to face their, you make your bed, you have to lay in it type thing. You're done. It's over.
Yeah, like when all them CEOs start jumping off roofs 50 at a time, every civilization. Oh, well, this guy's jumping off roofs every week. Yeah. Same
everything crashed. It's 2008. Let's jump off the roof now because my whole life revolves around.
Well, no, they're throwing them off roofs. That's the joke, is they're throwing them off the roofs and go, oh, ain't that sad? Like they would have did the Vanilla Ice back in the day, right? Oh, he jumped off the balcony. We don't know what happened.
Jump around, yeah.
Yeah, we just saw him a couple weeks ago. He was smoking a cigar with some brandy and laughing. Now he's on the ground. He jumped off the roof.
You know about the cigars and the fucking whiskey, the scotch.
Yeah, the Scotch. Fucking guys, bro. But yeah, Paul, I had the same experience. Like, you know, not really infiltrating it, but like going and talking to them and seeing, you know, you can ask certain questions, right? And it's not really about what they say; it's about what they don't say and how they say it. You know, you can learn a lot off of that.
I saw enough. They're scum. I want nothing to do with them. They love me though. See, they've come here before and said, you know, one of the ex-police. He goes, yeah, I'm a Mason, and we got a lodge, and we love Paulie boy. Yeah, because I call it out exactly how it is. I say the slaves are a bunch of scum, and that's why the masters laugh at you and shit on you because you're a bunch of punk-ass cowards. And then I turn my attention to them. You're just as big a bunch of punk-ass cowards because you're afraid of the words.
Well, Paul, you know why they like that? Because in their mind, what they call them is the vile and the profane.
Right. Yeah. They want me to come down there and do a bit where I shit on all the slaves. And I said, I'll come down there.
Yeah. They want you to share in the vile and the profane.
To all of you, and I'm going to sacrifice myself on stage, right, in front of all of you with the truth. Right? We'll play a little game, and we'll see how much you really are secure with how you live and what you say you know, all you masters of self.
Pussies. Right. Bunch of fucking pussies. And that's why they laugh about it, because they consider everybody else, right? The Masons call us the vile and profane, or not us, but all the other people around. They also call us, you know, Goyim, if you want to call it that. Right? Or the vile and the profane. Either way, it's like the cattle. Regardless,
they want me to come work with them and for them, so they like identify with me because they go, you see the dumb slaves and you could be really good at this. Why won't you just come work with us or come entertain us?
How much you want to bet? How much you want to bet, Paul? I guarantee you, if you look in your family tree, you have Masons in there.
I'm sure I do, man. It's Italians.
Yeah, guaranteed. Yeah, no, I'm half Sicilian too.
They're a bunch of punk ass cowards. If they gave birth and created down the line of the lineage of what is my father today, I want nothing to do with them. Give a fuck what they can show me, businesses, money, brick building. I don't care. I'd rather live in a fucking tin hut in a favela and be a good man who stands on spiritual faith and truth than be part of these Western European secret society, fraternal order, borderline.
You know the mafia.
Organization.
Even the mafia is ran by the Masons.
Because all this really is a bunch of gay guys, right? Or guys who've not really reconciled the different aspects of themselves. So I shouldn't insult homosexuals who are out and about and kind of owning it.
No, bro. I don't think it's all about
with arrested emotional and sexual development who are deviant in all ways, and that doesn't change either when it comes to that, right?
It's not about that.
Hang out together in groups and have little male-dominated sexual escapades and events and sit around and smoke big black cigars, right? I know all about it.
But I'm saying that's an easy cop-out, though. You know what I mean?
I'm saying when you get right down to the sub-psychology of a lot of these well-to-do, civilized white people who on the back end
they're not all white. They're not white.
Well, most of them are.
No, but I'm saying I've been around the higher level people, and like they're like Islam, they're like Indian people. You got fucking Muslim people, like Middle Eastern. You got Asians. Most of them are white old people.
That's more New World Order, global government kind of.
That's what they're working about, bro. That's what they. Bro, there's something called.
I'm talking about the origins of these people, right? Sitting around. Degrading black people while smoking big black cigars because I think
there's plenty of high level black people too in there. Like I've seen all types of people, bro.
No, you're not listening. You're not listening. The roots of this is not black people in Mason.
It's good versus
garb. I don't know what the fuck you're talking
good versus
I don't know what you're talking about.
This shit is not
back to the root of where this all came from. It was black people smoking cigars and walking around with aprons on.
It's not skin deep, bro. It goes beyond that.
I understand that they're all being used by what you would call the dark side of this world, the dark force of this world. They're all being avatared. The whole world is in the hands of the dark one, essentially. It's about 3% who've unlocked themselves from this slave matrix. That's at best.
Yeah, I said that's being a little generous, right? Hopefully it's 3%.
It's probably a 1%, like they say, 1%. So I'm a 1%er, like the fake ass motorcycle gang member that I was in jail with the 1% goofy ass diamond who was a piece of garbage, right? I'm the real 1%. I should go get the 1% right here, right? So yeah, there's about 1 to 3%, just like the revolution they say was fought by a complete circle revolution. Yeah, 1 to 3%. That's why the conviction rate in every county is like 95 to 98%, right? It's like 1 to 3% folks actually don't fucking cop out, sell their soul, act like a punk ass bitch, and give their life over to a beast system.
Well, exactly, right? You talk about the 1% motorcycle people. I'm allowed to say this because it's all public information. My uncle passed away in 2013. He happened to be like the president of the Hells Angels over here, right? And do you not think that even he was a slave himself?
Yeah, they're all punk ass bitches. Come do a hit on me. Come do the hit on me because you know it's true. You're all punk ass bitches putting bombs in each other's clubhouses, but won't stand for rights and freedoms. You ain't shit.
He was a slave too, in a way. But why? Because it's like this: you can get a bunch of slaves together, and then like strong arm people and shit, whatever. Like have some, strike fear into people. So it's like this: like, you're still a part of the fucking program, regardless. And we all are, okay? In a way.
That's the point, bro. That's the point. Everybody, you got all these fucking thugs in the inner cities and gangsters shooting each other. You got all these white boys on motorcycles with all their fucking glory and colors and bullshit doing life in prison for some fucking nonsense. And not one of them stood for rights, freedom, and principles in this realm. They failed. Karmically, they're out. They're a waste of time, energy, attention, and space.
Yeah, even these people that you think are badass and shit, living outside of they
ain't shit
on their own rules. Either way, they're still a part of the system, and what they're doing is almost like the house slave thing I brought up earlier, right? They're just regulating the other slaves. That's all it is. You're just regulating.
Hells Angels, Mongols, Bloods, Crips, GDs. I'm jumping all the way out the window. You're all ain't shit.
The Yakuzas.
Come do the hit on me.
No, then no one's ever gonna fucking touch you, Paul. You're fine. And either way, you're protected. You're protected by something higher than any of that nonsense.
I don't even give a fuck, bro. Imagine the story if they fucking come and whack me, one of these lowlives, and never stood for rights, freedom, and principles. They'll tell you everything you need to know about this fucking realm.
That's not gonna happen, man. Fuck off.
Like a little Tommy that's just down there won't shut the fuck up because he's insane. One day he's gonna go postal. He's gonna come looking for somebody. Out of his mind.
That's all right. Yeah. So like even like these Masons and these people that are involved in governments and all that, these people that we think are in control, they're not in control at all. They're being used just like any other fucking slave, They're not in control. They're being used for their fucking energy and their mind and how they formulate reality. And they're pretty much like the slave master, if you want to call it that, or the slaves that are treated a bit better. You're put into some fucking shit. I'll treat you a little bit better if you act like this and give you some more privileges and shit. And most people go along with it.
I just think it's fascinating. They're willing to kill somebody they don't even know that doesn't even matter on the world stage, or do life in prison for some fucking nonsense, right?
Most of it, they don't go do life. Most of it.
You know what I'm saying? 10, 20 years in prison, but won't fucking travel down the road and risk a couple days in jail because they're, I don't know what, either mind controlled, scared, or both. It's fascinating.
Yeah, and I know you're saying like, yeah, even the people
businesses, they're paying taxes on Hell's Angels and the rest of them because they won't tell the government to go fuck themselves.
Because the people in the government are working with these people.
What's the difference, bro? You're energetically a slave. This is why I don't get. It's like they're like, you know what? I have no pride or no self-care, no self-respect. As long as I have enough shit at the end of the day.
You know why, Paul?
Popular. I'm okay with that. They have no essence.
You know why, Paul? Because
they have no heart.
They have no heart, and it's a lot easier to go with that, right?
They're heartbroken is what it is. These folks have been heartbroken early on in their life, and they've never rectified themselves.
They've been psychologically broken down and brainwashed, like kind of like a military kind of thing, They break down your.
There's still some folks out in the middle of nowhere in a fucking hut who'd rather live in the hut the rest of their life than get to something and sell their soul, and they'll blow their whole family up to to secure that because they're not going to choose to go along with it. So they say, we rather blow everything up and burn it all down and fucking move on to whatever than let you scum come in here and take away our soul and our personal choice. It's that simple. When you start living like that, you'll be a warrior for God and we won't have these problems.
I'd rather be a warrior in a garden, you know what I mean? So. Than a gardener of war. But yeah, exactly.
And of course, I'm not advocating for blowing shit up because they'll say that I said that, right? I'm just saying that's the mentality, right? If they're going to come take you and put you in a box or kill you, I don't fight back. But spiritual martyrdom is the highest goal of attainment, right? It's almost like I'm not talking myself into it. I'm just reminding myself, if that's what comes, then I've completed my task. That's the highest goal. That means that I'm on record so hard with the universe, however you want to quantify that. If that's like a feeling thing and it's not real, well, it's real to me.
And to be honest, Paul, I think that's the point of life. Making your own points like that. You know what's right. So I think that's the point of life, really, right there.
Yeah, I think that when we have a land, I don't care if it's like 10 people, 100 people, 1,000 people, 100,000 who live like that, this is just over. Because they're going to know immediately, we can't do nothing with these people because we can't put them away long enough and they're going to come back out and they're not going to stop what they're doing. So just leave them alone, right? You got to force the interaction. You got to kill us or leave us alone. Well, they're already working on killing people, silent weapons, quiet wars, all the rest of it. And if not, putting you deeper into code, policy, slavery. So there's no way out, right? So you got to force the interaction through civil disobedience. We're not doing it. Martyrdom's our highest attainment because this is a spiritual faith concept. You're pushing political beliefs on us. It's terrorism by definition, right from their books, right? So you're not going to terrorize us. You're not going to take our spiritual faith and our choice. And now you got to kill us. When we come at it like that and when we stand on that and really fucking mean it in our heart, this is over.
Well, we can only hope that eventually happens, right? So
hope is as hollow as fear. I'm already doing it, and that's all I can do for me. It's an individual and collective judgment.
Well, you've probably realized now it's not just about you, right? It's about fucking planting those seeds.
Yeah, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't. I'm just saying that ultimately I can't have any stake in that outcome. I can't have any emotional investment in that. I can't have any hope.
Yeah, but you have to know what's going to happen. Like, you know your heart's going to be, but you don't really know it. It just automatically happens. It's an automatic thing that's going to happen, bro. There's no fucking ifs, buts, or any of that. It's happening. Knowing something is a belief in a way. It's like beyond knowing. It's an automatic thing. Like your heart beats, like your brain is fucking sending electrical signals into your nerves every time you think. When you think move your hand, you don't really think it just happens and you just do things, right? It's beyond that. Pretty much they're fucked, Paul, bro. They're done.
Well, I guess I got to do a broadcast. Time flies when you're having fun. I've spent 2 or 3 hours over here, but I'm supporting Benton. So that's what matters. Where is Benton, actually? Oh, he's gone. All right.
Yeah. Paul, thanks for showing up on Benton's channel. I'm going to be getting ready to go to work. I'm just restreaming you guys. But yeah, it was a good conversation, man. I appreciate it.
All right. Well,
It was definitely a good conversation. It was one of the better conversations I've taken part of here. Definitely good.
We got Tommy down there. He's calling me a grifter. Is this one played out, grifter? I haven't made anything off this fucking. Why does everything I have to do have to be projected onto you, little slave?
What I learned, I want to project on myself. So what I learned is I have to stop speaking in absolutes. That's what I've learned. I'm going to work on that. Continue to try being a better man.
Yeah, if I was all about money and grifting, I wouldn't have come over here to begin with, let alone spend 2-3 hours over here for the love of the game and the truth. This is what I mean. Just stop projecting on me. You're embarrassing yourself, man. You're the grifting bitch. With Catcoin and all the rest of it, talking about you're going to make channels one day to take everybody's fame away. You're the grifter, the shyster, Shylock scum. Catcoin and trade and Elon loving scum. Worldly reprobate says he's working for God. Why Benton has you on at all, why he gives you any time and attention is beyond me. It's degrading and demeaning to him. at some point, I guess he'll get that. I guess I can only surmise that he used.
hold on, Paul. Can we pause for a sec? We got Wizard Straight Out of Darkness. What kind of T-shirt is that, bud?
Straight Out of Darkness. Okay,
that's awesome.
It's a spiritual. That's a spiritual T-shirt, I guess.
They that are in the dark are the ones that see the light, and the difference between the true light is that pinpointed one that guides you straight to the source, whereas the false light is all of this fluorescent light and all of this other stuff. That's false light with all the colors. The true light is within. And like I said, it's like a laser. It'll lead you right there. You don't need to follow anything else.
It's like a laser precision.
People ask me, Keith, why do you choose such a hard path? I don't. It's the only one I see.
Yeah, there's a lot of retarded folks over here, and I don't know what that's about. I don't know if it's like Benton's viewers or viewers from other channels, but yeah, there's quite a contingent of retarded, mentally, emotionally retarded people over here. Like this person, I don't know who this is. Oh, I asked a question. I didn't know Benton was gone. I actually was just in a flow and kind of listening and talking, doing my monologue a lot too. Like
Paul, why are you reading all these comments? Who gives a fuck?
No, I love having direct interaction with the chat slaves. I love including them.
That's what gets.
The chat does distort the experience, though, because I thought it was a great, conversation, and I was wrapped up in the idea. So,
yeah, well, it shows us the diversity, the extremes. Without that,
what it is this, right? If you answer the chat, you'll notice you'll have more people engaging. Why? Because
you see what you don't get is that I
incentivize him.
Yeah, I know, and I do that purposely too because
I know you are. Yeah.
Right. So like it's like.
But don't you want engagement though from the chat?
Yeah, I want people to engage and tell me my faults because if I find one that I realize, hey, that is a true fault that I haven't dealt with, oh yeah, I'm gonna pick up on it and I'm gonna hey, thanks.
Yeah, right. Like it's how
that's why I like Paul. He'll pick up on those things and hey, brother, what about this? Like my fishing. Those are just differences. That's all we have. Neither one of us is right or wrong. It's just the differences in how we live, as opposed to our own observances.
Exactly, Wizard. And when you respond to the people in the chat talking shit or whatever, like Paul is doing, what it does, it's also a psychological game because if you respond to them, it incentivizes them to make more comments.
Right, and then I get more comments from beta boys like this.
Exactly. So you're gonna it's like a mind fuck. So you're pretty much because now if they respond, they think they may get a response back, and then
it's always the same. I'm going to tell you guys. Then I get a collection of beta boys I get to point to and show how this all works.
And I'm going to tell you guys, no matter how much you want to study psychology and all that, psychiatry and all that, the natural course of it is that if you're 5 years old and you're thrown into foster homes and you don't have anybody that guides you on a regular basis no more, and it keeps changing and keeps changing, you start learning how to guide yourself. You start learning how to stand up for yourself, even at 5 years of age. So it's people like that, people like Paulie that have had to look out for themselves because their daddy ain't doing it.
I had to be a man since I was 8 years old, probably before that. So yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Like enough. This is elementary. Yeah. The elements.
I got to tell everybody a quick joke again. And this actually came from my mom, my adoptive mom that worked at Social Security Administration for 27 years. And this gal's moving. And so she pulls up to her new home and she starts unloading the truck first thing in the morning. And this gal comes out on her porch next door and hollers, "Johnny, breakfast." And 5 little boys come running home and eat breakfast and then head back out the door. A little while later, the gal's still unloading the truck, and lunchtime comes around. The gal comes out next door and screams, "Johnny, lunch!" And them 5 little boys come running back for lunch. Eat lunch, go back, heading out the door. Dinner time comes around. The lady gets finished up, and here comes the gal next door. Comes out on her porch, hollers, "Johnny, dinner!" And them 5 little boys come running up. And she just can't take it anymore. She goes over to introduce herself and says, "Yeah, I was listening while I was unpacking. And I noticed you got 5 boys and you named them all Johnny." Why is that? She says, well, when I need them all to come for lunch, breakfast, or dinner, and so I just got one name to call. And she says, well, what if you only want one at a time? She says, oh, heck, then I just call them by the last name.
I get it.
Yeah. Yeah, lots of little bastards running around. Hordes of Babylon.
Indeed.
Call them by their last name. Oops. Mom was speaking shit she didn't even know. She ain't even read the Social Security Act, and she out there spewing spells. Sick.
O'Shea, what are you up to, brother?
I'm out, guys. I'm gonna head down to the river for a bit again.
All right, man.
Much love, Wizard.
Wizard, take care. I'm just about to pack up my stuff here at this library. I wasn't able to really.
I think we're about to shut her down now.
Yeah, and
Cage is ending the stream apparently.
All right, I'm out of here. I'm going to prepare.
All right, I'll see you over there.
All right.
Yeah, I'm just getting ready to go to work, Ben.
Fucking Rob hasn't said a damn word. Rob, I hope everyone.
Shut up, Cage. I didn't say nothing for 2 hours. You're just gonna cut me off every time
I know, man. It's hilarious.
You fucking moron.
Sorry, Brian.
Yeah, so I'm just getting ready to go to work. I'm gonna pack this shit up. I'm gonna drive about a half hour away, and then me and Rob Cleveland are gonna make love later. I mean, hang out and smoke weed. All right, guys. It's been great. Thanks for having me, Benton. I love you too.
Live stream the weed smoking.
Fuck off.
I tried to get that done with you last night and the night before. I got work tonight.
Uh-oh.
I thought you were doing a booty call, dude. This guy texts me at like 1, 2 in the morning each night. I'm like, whoa.
Well, he doesn't sleep, so
I work graveyard.
Yeah, he's up all night.
I don't want to know about any of this shit. But yeah, much love, everybody.
Later, Cage. We'll see you next time.
I love you guys.
Later.
All right, whatever, dude.
Oh, man.
All right, fellas. Yeah, I got to run because I got to, I don't know. I guess I got a half hour to get there. I got to be there at 1. It's not too bad. I can pack this shit up. Yeah, I guess I got a few minutes.
Yeah, fuck it. Just chilling.
$40 an hour. But it's just because I'm new to Vegas. So I'm going to start getting these jobs up, seeing what rates. See how low I had to drop it?
Nice.
Luckily, one came in at 40. And then, get a few of those rolling in. Let's see. Mess around with the rates a little bit. Might have to even drop a little more just to get a bunch of jobs coming in. But I really should just put the rate at whatever just so I have work all the time. You know what I mean? So that I don't get in my head. I was talking about this with Paul yesterday a little bit. Like if I just have my schedule filled with work all week, live stream in the morning, then just fill up my schedule at work. And then, you know what I mean? And then just bank, save money. It doesn't even have to be TaskRabbit work all the time. While I'm getting TaskRabbit work, just use my fucking genius brain, right? If it is
the old noodle
to network and just figure it out, man. How to keep compounding that cash. They got the World Series of Poker coming up, Benton. Who knows? I might end up playing the main event again this year for the 4th time. I played.
Dude, that would be awesome. Wow,
yeah, it would be awesome.
How did you get? Did somebody put you in it, or did you just plunk down your own 10 G's?
The first time I was working as a poker dealer and I was playing poker part time. So I was banking. I was making great money both directions during a poker boom like 10 years ago, like 2007.
Nice.
I started as a poker dealer. Then around 2008, that's when I popped $50,000 on a $300 tournament. Then I took a break from poker dealing and I was just playing poker full time. And then
nice.
And then I was banking. I was doing really well, like with online tournaments. I got like 500,000 winnings on PokerStars. And
holy shit.
Yeah, and but 250K profit. Those are just winnings, But like.
Yeah, no, I understand, but still, don't. It's still impressive either way.
Right, and but yeah, once you get a graph like that, you could get your graph. Once people see that you're a winning player, they'll just thank you. So the first time I put up $5,000 of my own money, and then I got backed at a 1.2. So people, if you wanted 10% off 10K, it would cost you $1,200 to invest 10% in me. You know what I mean? So, but now I might give people an even rate or a slight markup, or probably no markup, because markup's kind of dirty a little bit. But or I don't know, it just depends. But yeah. So like the first time I put up half. I think the second time I might have put up like 3/4. And then the third time, dude, I free rolled it. The third time, I just free rolled it, dude. I marked it up like 1.2%, and I had like, ended up having like 15% of myself, but I didn't put a dime in really, bro. I free rolled it just because my graph is so dope, dude. My poker graph just goes straight up. So
damn, dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, when you put it in marketplaces and see that, they'll invest in you, dude. They'll hop right on it. You know what I mean? So there were certain marketplaces where you could get investors. You know what I mean? So.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Hell yeah, dude. So yeah, I'm in Vegas. Things are all right. It's not so weird. No one called the cops on me last night. I was in a pretty chill neighborhood. I was by this area called Lone Mountain. It's actually really cool, dude. It's just like, it's literally what it sounds like. A single mountain, like just in the middle of a suburban area, bro. It's so trippy. These mountains are trippy. I love the mountains. You guys know how I feel about mountains and bricks and shit. It's all you see. Everywhere you look, it's surrounded. You're in a bowl, right? So you're just surrounded by mountains. That's why
Lone Mountain. That's up by North Las Vegas. That's where I work at.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's where I'm at now, kind of North Las Vegas. And I gotta go to Summerlin for this job in a few minutes. And but yeah, I love the view of the mountains. I love because the best mountain climbers in the world, the best mountain climber, that guy that made a movie about Free Solo. He moved out.
Alex Honnold. Alex Honnold.
Yeah, he's pretty interesting.
Yeah, dude, that guy's a bad motherfucker right there.
Yeah, they did a brain
scan.
You
met him?
No, I didn't meet
that guy?
him, but no, I haven't met him, but maybe while I'm out here. But they did brain scans on him. He like his fear thing, his things with fear. They realized like, obviously with what he does, there's something with him in fear where, you know what I mean? He's able to like disconnect or not have fear like other people would in certain situations, But it happened to him. There's a video of him being up there, and he got all freaked out, bro. He's standing on this ledge, and he's just in a crazy situation. He had to compose himself because he had a little moment, but that's rare for him. Most of us would freak the fuck out. Or he free solos, you know what I mean? So he clearly, he's not even strapped up, dude. So talking a lot. As soon as Paul leaves, I start fucking diarrhea.
Good. You waited to talk. So talk.
Yeah. No worries, bro. It's 12 p.m. Shout out to some sort of spiritual connection there. But yeah, I should probably wrap it up because I gotta get in the car, put the GPS in, put the shit away. I don't want to really be late. Being late's kind of rude to people, right? You're like thinking your time's more valuable than yours when you show up late to places, right? Yeah, look at this guy. Fucking savage, just climbing a brick building. Look at that melted brick building he's climbing, dude. Fucking crazy. Isn't that weird? That used to be a brick building, dude. Look at that shit, dude. No ropes. That's crazy. Oh, okay, guys. Just going back to my chat for a second. Gonna wrap it up. Your thoughts, expert panel?
I don't have too much. I guess I'm mainly just streaming today because I'm going back to work soon. So. Damn, dude. That shit loud enough? Good Lord.
Sorry about that. That was a fitness thing trying to hit me up because I hit them for a free trial. So now they're going to try to call me to get a membership. You know how you do it.
Still blew my fucking eardrums out.
Yeah, my bad, dude. I'm in a library too.
I heard some loud talking. You can make noise in a library. That's sort of that's changed over time. People used to be like, shh, not so much anymore.
Right. That's what I named my stream, in a library with OSHA, and then in the description I just put shh.
Oh, nice. I missed that part.
Yeah.
So if anybody didn't notice, London Man's going live in 45 minutes. So everybody check that out if you're so inclined.
My bad. I was reading the chat. Can you say that again?
Oh, it's all good. London Man's going live in 45 minutes if you want to check it out. I'm dropping the link right now.
Okay. I don't know if I've ever checked that dude out.
Well, I'm going to get my piano looking ass up out of here. And
later on. All right, man. Have a good day.
Hey, Rob, when's the best time of day to link up or whatever? Is he gone? whatever.
No, I'm still here. Well, I mean, on my work days, I guess like around 8, 9.
AM, right? In the AM.
Or
AM. No, AM. He works nights, man. Yeah, he gets off at 8.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, but I thought he was.
Yeah, I'm helping you out, O'Shea.
I thought he would be waking up at like 8 p.m. in the evening because we'll sleep all day. Or something.
No, he's getting off work in the morning.
Yeah, I wake up at 7 p.m. to get to work by like 10 because I take the bus.
Okay. Okay, so morning shit. All right, so on stream, I'll probably be streaming at those times. So maybe I could stream. We could stream together. You could get in the same box. That's the thing. You get me and Rob in the same box, right? People like that shit. No one puts Rob in a box though.
I did try to hit you up a couple of nights, but that's all right.
Yeah. I was just crashed out. I was just in bed in my car, so all good.
All right, I'm out.
All right, brother. See you later. Just me and you, Ben. Don't make it weird.
Oh yeah.
Okay, what's up with this chat? Oh, that's your chat. Sorry, I'm just going back to my chat. Dude, I was able to hold some numbers while I was just kind of like watching you guys in this library. Like,
yeah, I know. That was hilarious. Yeah.
I don't know who was doing that or what was going on there. I was kind of surprised.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I was going to play your audio, but people were talking a lot.
Oh, yeah, I wasn't even doing nothing. I was just letting you guys go because I was kind of in the library. You know, you guys were on a roll. I was on your panel, so I couldn't even mute it, right? Anyways.
Oh yeah.
Without OBS, so yeah. Yeah, I'm just looking at these chats. Fucking muted. Oh, I'm muted. Oh fuck, dude, I'm muted on my stream. Oh my God. Wait. But if I'm muted on my stream, oh fuck, I thought they were gonna be able to hear me from yours. Oh God. This whole time I've been talking this last few minutes. Wait, I'm confused. Ben. So if I thought if I unmute both that it would cause some issue, but I guess not. So I guess I've been muted on mine for a minute or something.
No, you got audio over there.
Yeah, I guess now because I just unmuted it, but I don't know. Yeah, because I figured it would have to. If they were able to hear you, I mean, you know, your panel while I was restreaming it while I was muted on my end. Like, you know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm getting lost in the matrix again, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, bro. I'm gonna get out of here and try to get this job on time.
All right, then.
Yeah. Good work, Ben. Salute you, dude.
Thank you, sir.
I've been putting your channel in the link for people to. Even though I've been scared,
thanks, brother.
Go over to you and I'll have no numbers.
Come on, man.
You steal.
Come on, man.
Steal my customers. No, it's all good, bro. We're a team. I love us both. So
every time I see your live, I shout it out. So
I appreciate that, man. Thank you for the love.
Yeah, man. Yep. All right, man. Have a good day.
All right, dude. All right. I'll see you later, brother. Take care.
Yep. That was Brian O'Shea, and thanks to Yurt in a Thought Experiment for being here. Shout out to Lou Bass, who helped keep the broadcast going earlier. Shout out to London Man, who's going to be live in about 45 minutes. Yeah, indeed, Sherelle. Good to see you, Snafu. How are you, brother? Yeah. I don't know if I have too much else to say. It's been a good day of streaming. I'm pretty sure no streams tomorrow, although I can't say for sure, but probably not streaming tomorrow, so be aware of that, folks. Then maybe Monday while I'm driving, perhaps. That's going to be a possibility. I'm probably rolling out of the motel around 8 a.m., I suppose, probably. I would leave way earlier, but I must check out of the room and get my $100 cash deposit back. Looks like Paul's live in 25 minutes. Good to see some other folks going live. Great power involves great responsibility. Franklin Delano Roosevelt. Paul said it all. Yeah, I'm having some interesting things going on with my digestion. Oh, and I made these, I buy these Swedish bitter herbs, like these dry herbs, and mix them with, vodka for like 2 weeks. And this last batch I made, I used like twice the amount of, basically I thought I had like 200 grams of herbs, but it was actually only 100 grams. So I used twice as much vodka. And then I also wanted to see, does it make a difference if I use the cheapest vodka possible? And it turns out that it does. It's probably better to use not the top shelf, but something, that's actually not just a Popov or whatever, something that's actually like a brand that gets, advertised. What, Tommy? I don't know. Are you talking to me? My impression is, I get the impression that Paul likes to hang out some of the time, but then, if Tommy comes up on the panel or, Cage, somebody like Cage, I don't know. It's hard to explain, but it seems like we just end up going through a lot of the same material that Paul covers quite a bit. So I don't know. I don't know. It's just interesting dynamic, I guess. Yeah, I don't know, Tommy. I really don't have the energy, honestly, to really give much resistance to whatever you're cooking down there in the chat. So sort of I'm trying to like steel my resolve, STEEL. That's a good point, Tommy. Thank you, sir. Yeah, I'm trying to sort of steel my reserve. Now I'm thinking about the malt liquor, but yeah, I'm just trying to steel my reserve to or resolve, I guess. Yeah, resolve. Reserve. What am I even saying? Resolve to go back to work. Which, worst case scenario, I would just work like a month and make money and then, not be able to physically hold up to it. But I got to say, I think the days of me being able to hold up to that job physically for months on end is probably just about over. Yeah, Cage talked a lot also, which was funny because Brian finally started talking at the end and Cage interrupted him. Some of these people, and every once in a while I had to interject and sort of chew on Cage a little bit. No, I haven't. Dry blood. What? I don't even know what you mean by that. You talking about like my blood? What's up, number 999? Good to see you. It was interesting when they kept talking about the 33rd degree Mason, and I'm like thinking about how my grandfather was on 11/22 of 1940, 1945. What, November the 22nd? The 10 catches for 303 yards. What's that? It's got to mean something. What's it all about? Oh, the blood transfusion of an 18-year-old athlete. Yeah. At this point, I have to say my health is probably about as good as I could reasonably hope for, I would say. All things considered, I'm doing pretty good. The main issue, other than the intense abdominal pain at times, is just fatigue. I get a lot of fatigue. Oh, an American Indian herbal mix. Yeah, feel free to email me the details if you would, if you don't mind. Because I've in general, I've said no health advice, but certain people seem to, because I've never even heard of what you're suggesting. So that's literally the first suggestion anybody's ever made that I'm not either already taking or, yeah, familiar with. So yeah, hit me with the email if you would. But yeah, I don't even know what that is, Tommy. I have no idea what Tommy's talking about. And I don't mean that like in a I'm being shitty kind of way. I'm not sure what you mean. But no need to explain. It's probably it's probably my failing, right? But I've basically done nothing today other than eat food and live stream, and I'm just about wore out, man. So yeah, we'll see how long the truck driving goes. As much as I don't want to try to have to play poker for an income, the fact is I can live on such a small amount of money. Hell, I could probably just stay here, $182 a week in this motel and just drive to Tunica every weekend probably. But even then, that would suck because I'm not going to want to get a motel room in Tunica. And I guess that would just more or less be 48 hours. I guess I could go to the car and take some naps, right? Cook all my food ahead of time. Play 2 to 3 days of poker. I don't know, man. Doesn't sound like much fun, honestly. I don't even know what that is. Is that some kind of cancer? Nice. But yeah, hit me up with the details if you would. Thinks he's a penguin. Yeah, herbs. Oh, I have gained some weight recently, though, folks. Just that's encouraging. Although there is the vanity of being like looking in the mirror and while I have lost a considerable amount of my muscle, still looking fairly. I wouldn't say ripped necessarily, but looking fairly lean versus gaining maybe 5 to 10 pounds. And it's funny how the mind works. Looking in the mirror, I'm like, I think I preferred myself at 130 pounds, but not really. I need the weight, especially going back to truck driving. So Lord only knows what that's going to do to me. Anyway, I'm just rambling at this point. Rambling. Yeah, check out London Man if y'all would. I guess I probably should just keep going until London Man goes live. Oh, brain cancer. Wow. Yeah, just hit me up. Yeah, if you would. Yeah, I'm actually more interested in the quality of life, what I can do for my digestion. Assumptions can be very dangerous. Yeah. I don't know. Overall, I feel like I'm managing it pretty well. So we'll see. Sorry to hear about your brother, by the way. Goodness, brain cancer. Bummer, dude. So there's always somebody with something worse, right? Mine's just mainly fatigue and having trouble maintaining my body weight. So when I've eaten enough food to gain some weight, but then it's like now my intestines are all fucking hurting and shit, and a lot of constipation, just a lot of bloating and just like that real heavy feeling, Got a lot of that going on in my stomach. Goodness. A lot of Tommy hate today. It's a little uncharacteristic. Anyway, I got nothing left to give. That's a good point, Tommy. I must have been the only one that liked the beats that I was playing on the previous stream. Yeah, I might as well. This is my last weekend of frivolity, since Monday I'll be driving to Chicago area, and then I wonder if they're going to pay for my hotel. I failed to ask. Not quite sure. Anyway, everybody, thanks for watching. Bye.